Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Professionally Unprofessional podcast. I'm joined once again by my good friends Reese in the middle and Elliot on the right.
Hello, everyone.
Good friends is a bit of a stretch.
So, been a bit of time since we last did this. Obviously, quite a few things have happened. Not much news-wise, but in terms of releases, there's been quite a bit. So, and obviously, we're going to talk about some big ones in this one.
Mm-hmm.
We got Hell Is Us, Super Robot Wars Y, Boarderlands 4 obviously released. We're going to have to talk about Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Yep.
We'll be talking about the Blooper team's newest release, Chronos. Is it called that? What's it called again? The new one by Blooper?
Chronos New Dawn.
I was about to say, in my head I was going, is that wrong? Because I thought that's the
This is why, as I keep saying, you need to write shit down.
Yeah, I've written it.
Especially your dementia, Cal.
I've written it down, but I've doubted my own memory.
Clearly, you don't have it on you.
I've written it down, but I just doubt my memory because I thought, is that right? Because I thought Chronos is the bad guy.
Yeah. You know that the purposes of writing it down is to refer back to it. You can read it as you get going into the thing.
Yeah, but I've done
it just turns out he wrote on the napkin a restaurant and left it there.
Yeah, but it turns out if I write it down sometimes, it either does an autocorrect or or I've made a dyslexic error, and as a result, I end up reading out the wrong thing.
Good God.
But I think we have to start this one. I think we have to start this one with the one that had the highest Metacritic score of anything that released this week, and then we'll go to the two other then we'll go to the other big deal releases that came out. So we'll start with Hollow Knight Silksong. That got 92 on Metacritic.
Because it's got the best Metacritic score, let's be honest. He just wants to gush about the fact that this game's finally out.
After 20 years.
Check out.
I like to know as well. This is also the man who was saying, "Oh God, this game's taking so long to come out. I just don't care about it anymore." And the second it comes out, starts fucking fapping to it.
I'll be honest. I thought they weren't going to live up to this. I thought this is going to be one of these. The hype was there, but it didn't live up to it by the time we got it. It's got 92 on Metacritic at the minute. It kind of crashed all the online shops when it came out. Like Steam was down, the Nintendo eShop was in a terrible state, PlayStation was in a bad state. I never checked Xbox to see what happened there, especially considering it was a Game Pass day one.
I drew with my friends. Apparently, it did go down in America, the Xbox store as well.
Okay.
So it crashed everything.
The Hornet Knight broke the internet.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who's
played. Goddamn fairies.
I'm the only one who's played it so far. I'm assuming because I know Reese hasn't played it.
Yep.
Elliot, have you played Hollow Knight Silksong?
I haven't even finished. I'm still playing through the first one before I play through that. I played a total of 30 minutes of the first Hollow Knight, so I could talk about that.
Well, that's 31 minutes to me, Elliot.
Okay, well, do you mind if I ask, Elliot, what's your opinion on the first Hollow Knight game?
It's good, but the only thing I'm as hyped about it as everyone else is.
Now, I recently beat Hollow Knight for the first time.
Somehow.
Victor doesn't count.
In prep for this one coming out. I've always really liked the first Hollow Knight, but I've never been able to beat that final boss until recently. But I loved the extra content they added. I loved the boss rush mode they added.
Because it was all free as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was what's surprising because it was all part of Kickstarter goals, and I'm wondering how they're going to approach.
That's it.
Yeah, and this the new one started out as a Kickstarter goal. It was supposed to be an extra mode where you play as the Hornet Knight. But it's like, from what I've gathered, they basically just had loads of ideas and this evolved into its own game.
Just kept adding to it.
If that's the case, I'm not wondering I've only just scratched the surface then because I've been playing it for a few days now. It's quite hard. I will say it's quite hard. But it is a very good Metroidvania, this release.
Yeah, so from what I've seen online, a lot of people complain because you take double damage all the time.
There's a lot more enemies.
Yeah, I have heard people say, like, I think Yahtzee made a complaint during the series, basically saying it's very much a game that expects you to have played the first game because it doesn't tell you a lot of information.
It is.
That you kind of expect to know.
I would say it not only expects you to have played the first game, it expects you to have beaten the first game. Because the main it's not mechanically it's very different. The Hornet Knight controls very differently to the character from the first one, who, despite the fact everyone keeps saying it online, he is not the Hollow Knight of the title. I think he's called the Scrub or something like that. I can't remember what he's called in Hollow Knight, but he's not the Hollow Knight. The titular Hollow Knight is reference to another warrior from the past.
Yeah, spoilers.
It's not a spoiler. You come across it like 3 hours into the game. You come across a statue to the character 3 hours into the game.
30 minutes into it.
That's the funny thing about this one, though. The environments are quite different. It's mechanically very different. The Hornet Knight does control very differently, and I noticed that when I tried to do the downward attacks that I like to do in the original Hollow Knight, they play very differently. And
it's not going straight down like a pogo, like DuckTales. You go to the side.
Yeah, no. And healing isn't handled the same way either. Like you get you only get one heal at max power level, but you get 3 hearts in the first one. You get new sort of like equipment later on.
Yeah.
That sort of like changes up what you can do with it. There's a lot more open about your build of your character in this one. Like they borrowed a lot of ideas from Souls-likes that have come out since the first Hollow Knight for how this handles. And they did what Elliot always wanted to do. They've done the trap bonfire as well. That was annoying.
Yeah, Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers did it first. Next.
Yeah, which obviously we need to... the thing about it, though, is Silksong is quite difficult. The boss is, as Reese pointed out, a lot of the bosses do take 2 hearts off rather than 1. But the thing I found interesting is you can pick your healing style depending on what equipment you like. So I just unlocked one that is you get a heart refilled every time you perform a successful hit. Also, if you like Sekiro, you'll like Silksong because there is a lot of parrying is a massive mechanic in this one. That would surprise me. It's a lot easier to parry in this game than it was in the original Hollow Knight. So
Nine Souls did it first.
I'll tell you right now, though, I'm really impressed with Hollow Knight Silksong. It is. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did do. I thought this is going to be a repeat of Hollow Knight. It will not live up to the hype that all these years have set for it. I think the fact that you have
you were the one you were like the main one of us celebrating that this game came out. Yeah. Like when you made a bet that the game would never come out, and your reaction was, and your reaction to losing it was just, yeah, well, I may lose $100 quid, but the game's out now. I'm very excited.
Yeah, no, I was excited to see.
You were the one who was championing this game out of all of us, and you're the one saying, "Oh, I thought it would just be another Hollow Knight. My expectations weren't massive for it. Bull fucking shit."
My expectations were more. I was trying to temper my expectations. I think that's a better way of putting it, because I was kind of thinking, can this thing really reinvent the wheel when it comes to Hollow Knight? And I don't think Team Cherry's gone out to do that. They've basically done what the Kickstarter mode really. They've really tried to be good to their Kickstarter backers. I think to a certain extent they went a bit too far with it, because I think they should have opened this thing up for pre-orders.
Yeah.
because it was ridiculous. They didn't think that loads of people were going to go online to try and buy this almost as soon as it came out. Another thing is side quests are much more trackable in this one. They actually give you a tracking for how far you're doing with side quests. So like there's one I got which is basically fill out the equivalent of the bestiary in this, and it actually tells you how many more enemies you need to accumulate into the bestiary before you've finished that part of the quest.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, there's also the little worms that you have to find. That's been replaced by a much smaller quest. Maybe there's a bigger one that comes later that I haven't reached yet. But there's like you're finding 5 fleas for this circus.
All right.
And you get access to a decent reward for it. It's not a great reward, but you get a decent reward for beating that quest. Though that's another thing. The side quests I think are going to be very divisive because you don't often get much for beating them, at least early on. So that's my attitude on Silksong. I think it's really damn good.
Yeah.
It is.
So definitely worth the wait then.
I would say it's worth the wait. Yeah, it is worth the wait because it has. I think it's met that hype. I'm not sure it's exceeded that hype, but it has met the hype. And although I would say if you didn't really get into the first Hollow Knight, the sequel's going to do nothing because it is basically the first game on challenge mode.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's turned a lot of people off to it. So let's talk about the next biggest release that happened. Borderlands 4.
Yeah,
wow,
I'm the only one who's been playing. I'm the only one of us who's been playing this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And I'm going to say now, this game is getting way too much hate.
Yeah, you've liked it a lot more than most people online have.
Yeah, because it's fucking good. What the fuck is everyone talking about? Saying that the performance is bad.
Which version are you playing, Elliot, just for the record, because you've brought up the performance?
PC.
You're playing at the
PC, and I think most other players will be playing on PC as well.
Yeah.
So, is it the console versions that we've seen so far that have been...
No, it's the PC version as well.
Yeah, from what I've heard, which, again, it's been running fine for me. And like someone was saying, I have a 4090 that this game is running horribly for me. I have a 4070 and the game's running fine.
What graphics preset, Elliot?
Just the standard. I haven't changed graphics at all.
That's why this is. A lot of people complain that they can't play in the ultra max high fidelity mode without FPS drops. That's where a lot of the complaints coming from.
PC probably isn't powerful enough then.
Yeah.
Like I know my PC's not powerful enough to do ultra max graphics. That's why I haven't.
Yeah.
I would like to. I'm interested to see how that's going to play out because I'm interested to see what the Switch and Switch 2 version are going to play like when they come out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, don't they already have some of the older games on there on Switch?
They only have Tales from the Borderlands on Switch, I believe.
No, Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequels on there.
I didn't know they had Borderlands 2 on Switch.
I don't.
Oh yeah, you're the Switch fan of all of us.
Yeah, but the thing is, Borderlands, it doesn't. The thing about Borderlands is, I feel like the most fun I have with Borderlands is couch co-op.
Yes.
That's the most fun I have with Borderlands. So, whenever I've tried to play it single player, it's just not grabbed me as much as when I've.
I would argue with that and say co-op in general, not just couch co-op.
Oh yeah, I agree. It is a
because I'm gonna be honest. After playing this, I don't think I could play this in split screen.
Do you like? You've been playing it single player. How do you find the single player experience for Borderlands 4?
I still think it's really fun. So stories, kind of similar to all the other ones. You're a Vault Hunter. You've gone to this new planet. There's this new planet. Big bad corporation is trying to stop you, yada yada yada. You get the gist. The villain in this one, I will say, still not as good as Handsome Jack.
Yeah,
but a massive improvement from Borderlands 3.
Yeah, let's be.
It was a brother and sister, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they sucked. They were essentially just Twitch streamers who were super cringe. Meanwhile, Borderlands 4, the villain is actually kind of intimidating.
Yeah, but the thing is, though...
They go for a more intimidating villain than a jokey villain.
You're never going to beat Handsome Jack, though. Like, Handsome Jack is always going to be the top villain of the franchise.
He's one of the best villains in video games. Of course you're not going to beat him.
But,
yeah.
That's the thing, though, for me. So, I mean, how much has changed from Borderlands 1 through 3? Because we won't count Tiny Tina's Wonderland in this.
Kind of have to say, I'm only like, I think maybe 10 hours in. So with Borderlands, I'm like a portion, and most of what I've done is like side quests. But they've made the world a lot more open. Like with other Borderlands games, it was they were open. It was open, but it was most open to sections. As far as I'm aware so far, it is fully open.
Right. So they've said we're going to go full sandbox.
Yeah, pretty much.
I personally think that's a better decision, considering that if they had stuck with that, there's a lot of games that have come out since Borderlands that have really innovated in ways that if they had stuck with that, it would have felt dated.
No, I disagree. I don't think the sectioned off big areas are a dated mechanic. I think there are like a number of games that still do that really well.
Yeah, but I'm personally
like you dissed that. You're dissing Claire Obscure.
I will say
which I will fucking burn you at the stake for that.
But the difference is with Claire Obscure, you can go there, but it'd be a stupid idea to do so because it tells you you're in severe danger if you try it.
In this game, I think this game, as I said, it's just it's all very open. It's a lot of fun. As always, a lot of guns, too many guns. Way too many guns. It can get stressful with the number of guns you have at times because you have to figure out the right ones to sell and the ones you need to equip and ones that maybe you need to keep. It's fun in that way, but it can be stressful.
Yeah, because what was that? Was that the biggest selling point? Like Borderlands 3 had like 3 billion different guns you could get.
Pretty much, yeah. And I don't know. They haven't advertised that. Like, I don't remember any advertisements on how many guns are on this game, but I imagine there's a lot.
Yeah.
And guns are all really fun as well. I know most guns I use have like 2 different modes. So like one has like you have an assault rifle that has a fully automatic and a pistol mode. Or like one of my SMGs has a shotgun mode and stuff like that. It's quite cool.
I think okay, I would say then, if you were disappointed with Borderlands 3, and I know some people were disappointed with Borderlands 3, is 4 going to get...
It's a massive improvement from 3.
Yeah, 4
like, I'd say this... I'm not sure if I'd say it's on par with 2 yet, but I say it's pretty damn up there.
Okay, yeah, because Borderlands 2 is a quality release. I may not...
Borderlands 2 is a fantastic game, yeah.
So, if I want to make a quick point on this one... Okay, so we got that you like Borderlands 4. Do you guys have any concern about the Switch 2 and Switch 1 versions of the game, given that they've chosen to put these out after the PC release?
Has it actually been confirmed for Switch?
Yes, it's coming out in 2 weeks, I believe. I'll quickly get on the eShop to double check that.
Yeah, because as well, is also Switch 1 or only Switch 2?
Yeah, I'll quickly get that information. Hang on. I know it's coming out like the first. I'm literally
on my PC. I can just look it up.
Yeah,
it up here.
I know for.
Yeah, you could, Elliot, but you won't.
No, I have because unlike Alvin, I am not lazy.
I don't know where my remote's.
It's.
There it is.
Yeah, the release is 3rd of October.
Yeah, and it's believe it's both the Switch 1 and Switch 2 because I saw both on the eShop when I was looking on there.
Mm.
So I found that interesting because that was I remember that being.
That was just Switch 2.
It's just Switch 2.
Just Switch 2.
Mm.
I'm interested to know how that one runs, given it obviously. It's Borderlands. Do you reckon Borderlands 4 is a massive visual and performance leap from the previous ones?
I mean, shell shaded graphics. There's only so much you can really do with improving that.
Yeah.
But in that instance, you have to wonder why are people trying to do that ultra fidelity if there's only so much you can do with cell shaded graphics.
I don't know. I mean, as I said, it just a lot of people just complain. I think most of the review bombing up there is just because of Randy Pitchford.
Yeah, Randy but in I would say in their defense, Randy Pitchford is not exactly the best at public relations.
I don't think the game should be review bombed for that, though.
No, I agree. I agree on that front, but it's just one of those cases where it's like, I do feel like someone at Gearbox.
Like, I hate, like, just as an example, I hate Neil Druckmann, as I made it very apparent. When his new game's coming out, I have no intention of review bombing it.
Yeah.
Can I will say as well, I do feel like some, both in the case of Druckmann and Randy Pitchford, you do feel like there's some people at their companies that should be telling them when it's time to shut the fuck up.
Because the problem is they're in charge, and they're in charge of their paycheck, and unfortunately, they're not like you who just lets them bully them.
Yeah, I was going to say the big difference is you guys tell me to shut the fuck up, and I just don't listen.
Yeah.
So interestingly, you're a lot more positive on Borderlands 4 than I expected you were going to be, Elliot. I'll be honest.
I think it's fun. I think it's a really fun game. By the way, for everyone wondering, I went with the Exo Soldier class. I usually go with Sirens in these games, but I saw what the Exo Soldier could do. I thought, he looks quite fun, actually.
So because of another project you're doing at the minute, Elliot, you're sort of reducing some of your written reviews right now.
There's only like two games I'm writing a review for. I might swap one of them out with another game.
Okay, on that basis, at this point in time, and you said you've been about 10 hours in, what would you score Borderlands 4?
It's in the 8s, I say, at least.
Okay.
I'd say mid to high 8 at the minute. Like, the performance issues are incredibly minimal, and I think the game's a lot of fun.
Okay, before we get into Reese's big one, which I think he's going to have a lot to talk about considering how many hours he spent on it, I think we have to talk about the other major release that came out in the time we were gone, Metal Gear Solid Delta, which I gotta be honest, Reese, I know you played a little bit of it, but you're not that far in because of Super Robot Wars. I've beaten it now.
Spoilers! Don't tell everyone what we're talking about in this video.
I've beaten it now.
What rank did you get at the end?
Not good. Let's just say that. No, because
Why is that not?
Honestly, the one thing it reminded me of was I went, wow, Snakeater was way more difficult than I remember it being.
Yeah.
That's the other. There's two things I learned from this. One, this one didn't impress me all that much because I don't think they put as much effort into updating this as other remakes that have come out in the last few years, like the Resident Evil remakes, the Final Fantasy remakes, or to put a really good comparison, the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah, I was about to ask for that one because that's the Konami. Well, that was Super Team really rather than Konami.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's with Delta. It's more of a remaster than a full-blown remake.
Yeah, the only thing that makes this kind of a remake is the new gameplay style, which even then is an option rather than it's the standard.
Yeah, and also the new graphics overhaul. which is just Unreal Engine pasted over the top of it.
Yeah, this is Unreal Engine.
It's exactly what Microsoft did with the Oblivion remaster.
Yeah, this is Unreal Engine 5 that is being used to make this. And honestly, it's not the best looking, I don't think. There's moments of it that look great, but like the worst of it was the historical footage they showed where they had to zoom into everything. I think because of the licensing issues they had with copyright of that footage. And it was like, oh god, I'm getting Sonic Colors Ultimate flashbacks. The thing about the Reese, did you play any of the new gameplay style?
Yes, that's what I started my gameplay on, and I played a bit of it prior to switch games. But it does really change how the game plays.
Yeah, I agree. I found it very difficult to get used to. It seems like it makes everything more difficult in the general gameplay, but it makes the boss fights a joke.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because it also introduces bullet drop, which wasn't a factor in the original gameplay.
No, I agree, and that it's and one of the biggest. Like I beat the end on my first time facing him. The fear, he only took me a couple of goes, and I beat him. The one that gave me trouble was what's the one that does the hornets on his arms?
The Pain.
The Pain, that's it. He gave me a bit of trouble, but that's about it. Yeah,
and the gimmick for him is hide in the water, and that's it.
Yeah, that is all you have to do. Like I also the boss was a bit challenging, but that's about it.
Yeah, basically the whole strategy of her is that you hide behind a tree and sniper, and that's it. That's the whole battle.
Why didn't I think to do that? But I like the thing about it as well is it also made me think Metal Gear Solid 3's story is not as good as Metal Gear Solid 1's. Like I know loads of people really say it's an amazing, but I think it's because the beginning and the end of it is so good. You kind of forget that the middle's a bit ropey.
Well, the main part of the story comes from the Codex conversations, which you need to do pretty much all the time to get all the new lore.
Yeah, but you barely. Yeah, I was going to say, you barely do Codex conversations, though, in 3.
Well, they're entirely optional. It's up to you to ring up and seek them out.
Yeah, no, I kind of think I'm someone who didn't mind the Codex conversations in 1 and 2, but I know I'm in the minority with that one.
No, a lot of people do.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem I had the most time I spent in the Codex in Snakeater Delta was saving my game and getting all the history lessons on all those different movies. Yeah,
which is actually part of a trophy to hear some of them.
Yeah, I know it is a trophy for hearing all of them. Which I am not getting the platinum for Metal Gear Solid Delta. I'm telling you that right now because I think you have to do multiple playthroughs of it.
Yeah, you need to at least 2. One, regularly getting all the collectibles, and a second one with the best ranking in the game, non-lethally.
Oh, that is impossible for me to do. Fuck that.
So, yeah, the current speed runs at the moment is just over an hour to do the whole run.
But
non-lethal.
The thing for me is, I kind of feel like there was rumors going around of Blue Point doing a remake of Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that had happened rather than this.
Yeah, because you can still play 3 on the HD collection. It still runs great. A lot of people still prefer it that way.
Yeah, like I just thought, at what point when I was doing this would I not rather be playing 3 on that HD collection that came out?
Especially because now with Delta, there's so many performance problems due to Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, there's a lot of performance issues. Like I would say they're even more egregious than Boarderlands 4 because. The worst part of it was that Digital Foundry found it actually runs worse on PlayStation 5 Pro than base PlayStation 5. That is...
Yeah, because with the PS5 Pro, we try to submerge both the quality and performance modes together as one mode.
And it doesn't work. That's the problem.
No.
And
and there's no option to turn it off.
So...
You have to play that way on Pro.
It's one of those,
that's annoying.
It's one of those moments where I was like, I feel quite justified now in the fact that I didn't buy a PlayStation 5 Pro.
That's the same for all of us, Callum. It's like 700 quid.
Yeah, it
doesn't even come with a disc drive.
Exactly. So it's like 800 quid to buy that total.
See, that was the main thing that put me off getting a PlayStation 5 Pro. Even though I am moving more towards digital than physical because of my living situation and my location.
And because all your walls are taken up with Amiibo, there's no other storage space.
We're getting to Amiibo later. Trust me, Amiibo is going to come up in this podcast.
Of course.
Yeah, but I wanted to. But the main thing I want to say is, I mean, we're being a bit harsh on the game in some regards because in a lot of ways this is a good release.
Yeah, it is good, and once you iron out the frame rate issues, it will be a very good game.
And like Snake's model's all right. The camouflage still works quite well. I kind of wish they would drop the villains would drop better resources because I felt one of the things I found I was running out of a lot was the stuff to do, like I was running out of bandages and stuff and the stuff to heal yourself when you take lethal, quite bad damage.
Yeah, you're supposed to scrounge those yourself and also use natural ingredients in the wildlife.
Yeah, but I think I prefer. That's why I think I prefer Metal Gear Solid 1. I think I preferred that simpler approach to it. I know people are going to say it's a skill issue on my part, and it probably it is. But I'm saying I personally prefer Metal Gear Solid 1. I think the story's better in Metal Gear Solid 1. I think the gameplay's a little more interesting in several regards. I think there's a lot of issues with Metal Gear Solid 1. Don't get me wrong. The fight against Metal Gear Rex can officially die in a ditch for how difficult it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I do enjoy I didn't hate my time with Metal Gear Solid Delta, but it's not one where I'm like, I really want to replay this. It just made me think, I kind of want them to remake Metal Gear Solid 1 now, get someone else to do it, like That's
what I've been wanting them to do for years. Before Metal Gear Solid 3, do 1 first.
Yeah. Well, the reason they went with 3 is because it's the start of the storyline.
It is
It's how Big Boss starts.
Yeah, it's canonically the first story, but I feel like you don't get that hit. I think the thing that made Metal Gear Solid 3 so impactful was because we knew the history of where these characters were going to go.
Yeah.
That's why moments of like Big Boss's interactions with Ocelot have the impact they do, and it's like this new side of Ocelot that kind of contradicts what happened in later games. Like I felt like
it actually doesn't. It's just very complex.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like this character was a bit of a psychopath in the other games. I'm a bit amazed with adding a bit more of depth to his character all of a sudden.
Well, if you want a complete Tonal Whiplash by Ocelot, just look MGS5.
Oh yeah,
he's just a chill guy.
Yeah, that is a massive whiplash. I will say as well, they did keep a bunch of the funny stuff in. Like they kept in the time paradox death. I immediately went to try that to see if it would work.
Which also now has a trophy behind it.
Yes, I discovered it had a trophy behind it, and I haven't tried this, but I believe you can still do the trick. Move the clock 1 week forward and the end dies of old age.
Yeah, I've not confirmed that myself. The only thing I did see, I was talking to the guys the other day about, the trick of locating him on the map by using the Konami code no longer works.
No,
and instead now he actually insults you for doing it.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that was a thing until you mentioned it. But no, but it didn't need it. I beat him first time. He's piss easy in the remake.
Yeah.
So, really good. I think I gave it like a 7.5 out of 10 when I reviewed it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to stand by that. I feel like this is a 7.5 game. It's good, but it's not great.
Well, you are 0.1 below the user score on Metacritic. It's 7.6.
It does feel like this is... It feels like for all the hype about this release, people have kind of dropped off it since it's...
Well, it was mostly due to the performance issues. A lot of people dropped off.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because I don't think the performance... I know some performance issues in my game, particularly when I got into the Shagglehawk facility. That's when I started to...
at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's where it really starts, when it has to render lots and lots of people.
Yeah, but it has to run a full military base, vehicles, personnel.
Yeah, when it has to do that, then it's running a bit. Then it's having those issues.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice it too much beforehand. Let's move on quickly to your one, Reese, and Super Robot Wars.
Why?
That's it. Sorry, a bit of a win there.
That's all right.
And this is a very historical release because this is one of the first big ones to come over from Japan.
Yeah, so the previous entry, Super Robot Wars 30 for the 30th anniversary in 2021, only got a Western release initially in Hong Kong. So all the fans had to then import it. It wasn't until later on also got a Steam release in the West.
So Super Robot Wars Y is for many people, this is going to be the first time they're going to play a proper Super Robot Wars game. And
especially if the console plays as well.
And you did not mince your time with this one, mate. You spent like 150 hours playing it.
Yep, 150 hours to do everything they can in one playthrough. And the game requires multiple playthroughs for all the endings and the different decisions you can make during the story.
Jesus Christ. Okay, because here's the thing, I'm still kind of going through the 100 lines trying to get all the endings.
Yeah.
And each playthrough of that is maybe 30 hours.
Yeah.
Having to go through multiple playthroughs of 150 hours, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's only 150 hours on your first playthrough if you do as much as you can that doesn't get locked off. Because as you progress through the story, since the main missions become unavailable, you do other ones in their place. And different character missions.
Because 100 Lines kind of does something like that as well. Once after your first playthrough, you could go back to different times where you did certain choices and pick the other one, I guess.
So that's almost this is you have to start from scratch.
Yeah, so you don't have to start from scratch every time.
I mean, it's hard to convey to people just how many franchises are crossing over in this.
Yeah, in this game alone, there's at least 40 different mechs with more coming in DLC from over about 25 series, I think.
Yeah, because we got, I know the DLC is going to include Futo PI, a few Kamen Rider
Big
stuff.
O.
And Big O. Big O is the one that surprised me because I was like, wow, that's not marketing, sorry, because there hasn't been a Big O anything for ages.
Oh, God. One day I learned that Cardfight Vanguard is coming to that with a Dai Kaiser.
Well, the one I really wanted is not in, obviously, because Eureka 7 has only been in a couple of the games.
Yeah, I think it was last in the PS2 games, I think.
Yeah, because they were really doing a big push for Eureka 7 on the PS2.
Yeah, because the thing with this franchise, it goes back to 1991, when it was on the original NES.
I know, it's astounding. So, what franchises were you most happy got into the game?
Well, all the franchises we see, the cut-off point was about 2023. So we get the first season of Witch from Mercury Gundam.
Okay, so we got Aerial.
And we also have the SSS Dyna Xenon, the Gridman sequel.
Oh, good.
Oh, so wait, we haven't got Braven in there?
Braven's rumoured for DLC in the future.
Yeah, so Braven's coming later.
Hopefully later.
Rumoured.
Yeah.
What about so is Witch from Mercury it does sound like they're doing a lot more recent mech shows rather than mech shows from the past.
That's also not true because they're bringing back mecha anime from the 70s and 80s in this game.
Okay, so who what else we got in this
one? I think we're forgetting to ask the main question. How is the game? Because so far Calvin's only talked about all the references. Like the fucking Marvel fan he is.
It's really good, but it's very dialogue heavy because it's mostly a visual novel style game.
Yeah, the scores seem a bit mixed on Metacritic.
So
yeah, that's always been the way. So it's basically a spin-off from the original Famicom Wars style of gameplay that also gave us Fire Emblem. So if you played Fire Emblem, this is that game with mechs and pilots.
Do you think it's
it's that style combat with a ton of visual novel reading?
Yeah, because Fire Emblem is visual novel-y, but for some reason not nearly as. Because you can at least beat Fire Emblem game in 40 hours.
Yeah, whereas in this game, you go through the plot line of every show included, even if it doesn't really make sense to the overall plot. because the main focus is still Char and Amuro fighting. Because in this game, the last one was Earth versus space. So we're getting the fallout of that with Lelouch getting assassinated at the start of this game and Char claiming victory. So you have that going on. And then you have the Witcher Mercury cast showing up, the cast from Gundam Siege showing up, even though they're all different timelines, but they're trying to merge them into one blob of a storyline. Saying they all exist at the same time and place.
Wow.
Yeah, this just sounds like a mecha version of that one Project X Zone game that came up on 3DS years ago.
Yeah, apparently that is what they are. These games are like.
Yeah, and it's been this way since the very start.
Do you know what the backlash on the fact of I reckon on the score? I reckon do you reckon it's similar to Digimon Survive, where people didn't realize how much of it was going to be a visual novel as opposed to the combat?
Yes, a lot of new fans tried picking this game up for the first time, and they saw the regular Fire Emblem style combat. They did not know it was going to be mostly visual novel with no voice acting.
I mean, in fairness, on Metacritic, there are not that many ratings. Like user ratings are only 5.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you didn't want to do an English, but again, I think the dialogue is
and there are only like 2 reviews from users.
I think given that there was I can't blame them for like not getting voice actors in, because if you think about it, like how many characters they have in this from various different time periods. Can you imagine trying to get all of those voice actors to come in from?
Yeah, so they did manage to get some of the original cast back, like the cast from Gundam Wing. They recorded new voice lines for that. Because one of the surprise things in this plot line, it merges into Godzilla's singular point. So a part of the story, Godzilla and a bunch of kaijus break through a dimensional barrier, and now they have to face them as well.
Why?
Wait, I just want to know. I have the trailer up. I know it's Kogi has characters in it, fucking based.
So you got Kogi.
Because the whole story starts with Lelouch's assassination.
Oh, right.
So we've got.
Well, Lelouch looks very much alive in the trailer.
Yeah. Well, what happens in the Kogi S lore, Elliot, after he dies?
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
That shit. Oh god, no, as if.
As I was saying before with the whole Godzilla stuff, they brought back the original voice actors like Hiro Yui from Gundam Wing, and so a lot of his voice lines are shit talking Godzilla, and he also then have Sir Letter from G-Witch also shit talking Godzilla, and it's just so funny.
Sorry. Hiro Yui has no right to shit talk Godzilla, considering
Surely it would be Miore shit talking Godzilla, not Soletta.
Well, she actually now is the head of the finance for the whole war effort.
This is so confusing.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's financing a whole entire army.
Wow, that kind of goes against what she was at the ending of Witch of Mercury in some ways, when you think about it.
Yeah, which you then bring about at the end of the story saying, right, the war's over, there's peace. Let's transition the Gundam technology into the Gundam technology to heal people. And people who've lost limbs in the war.
Where's Bob when you need him?
He's an unlockable character.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And he changed his name in the later gameplay to Bob in the text bubbles. Because that's what everyone calls him in the fandom.
So, quick question actually, Reese, on this one. How do they?
This just sounds like fucking fan fiction, but mecha fan fiction, but with a budget.
Yes, and it is glorious. All the fans who actually play these games still love it.
Can I point
out? That's not surprising. Like, mecha fans are so loyal.
So, Reese, after all that, we still haven't got to the point. What do you think of the actual gameplay of this?
Well, it's like I said before, it's very standard Fire Emblem type combat. So, basic combat, special moves, hits, accuracy, missing, dodging. It's very solid. So, if you like Fire Emblem, you'll like this.
Just standard tactical RPG gameplay then.
What do you think?
But with additional stuff, being able to equip extra parts, level up your mechs, level up your pilots, teach them new skills. So in Fire Emblem, you're able to get skills randomly on some units, whereas there's a whole in-game shop for everything.
Are there like any bonding sessions like there are in Fire Emblem?
So you do get those certain types of optional side stuff, but it's only when your pilot gets a number of kills required. There's a thing called score. So it's Letter kills enough people on the battlefield. She'll then be trained by Domon from G Gundam in the art of karate. I'd say it is amazing.
This game sounds fucking wild.
See, here's the thing.
It takes you 150 hours, but has some of the best dialogue I've ever seen.
See, here's the thing.
If it wasn't 150 hours, I'd generally consider getting this.
Yeah, so absolutely. If they add a couple more franchises that I proper adore into this game, I will so pick it up. Because I'm
again, Alvin, the man who's obsessed with references.
Can I?
So I'll send you guys some videos in the group chat afterwards with just the voice lines, and it's just so funny.
Can I actually ask, how do you reckon they're going to handle the DLC in this one? Like, are they going to try and merge those characters into storyline, or are they just going to be there?
So they are going to merge them in through now extra missions you can do during the story.
Right. So
yeah, I thought they'd do it through like extra missions. There's no way to like naturally put them into the story without completely changing it.
Yeah, so like say for example, if they did add Renton and Eureka from Eureka 7, they would get that rather than they would try to sort of clunkily merge them into the storyline.
Yeah.
Like for example, in 100 Lines, it's apparently rumored that they are going to be adding new routes and scenarios for the story as DLC, and I'm wondering how they're going to implement that at all with all the choices and whatnot.
So we've had two interesting comparisons there, because we've had 100 Lines, we've had Digimon Survive, and we've had Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
In terms of like, how do you feel like, considering it's a very similar game from the sounds of it to Digimon Survive and 100 Lines, how would you say it compares with those games?
It's a lot more difficult because in this game, enemies scale with your party. So if you do a lot of optional stuff to grind out the levels on all your pilots you've not used, the next fight into the enemies will scale a lot higher.
Right.
Where it's going to the point where I was in the final chapter, the enemies were maxed out level 99, which I didn't realize at the time. So to try and get all the cutscenes I could, I was leveling all the pilots up. So I was going back to the ones who were like level 30 to bring them into rotation. They were just getting one shot by standard enemies.
Is there a difficulty?
I'd like to see how difficult it compared to 100 Lines, because 100 Lines in the second playthrough gets really difficult.
There's also a difficulty selector for the high levels as well. There's like 5 levels.
Okay.
Because with 100 Lines, you don't level up your character so much. It's more like you get more enemies or more tougher enemies. And in the second playthrough, the bosses are like get health boosts and whatnot. Like the reason why I haven't played in a while is because one of the fights I'm in particular at the minute is particularly really difficult.
Is it?
Well, the boss fights now are so hard on standard difficulty. One of the late game chapters, you have to kill Godzilla Ultima from Singularity Points. It took me 3 days to try and work it out. Because you have to kill it in 3 turns, and otherwise it's a mission over. And every time it goes on to the next turn, Godzilla generates 60% of its total HP. 60%? And it's such a sponge. Yeah, it has like millions of HP as well. So you have to try and bum rush them all at once with all your units.
Jesus.
It is very difficult and takes a lot of retries.
Who delivered the final blow when you got that one?
Jet Jaguar, because in this game, there are certain unlocks getting you assist characters and also other mechs that they don't tell you about.
Thanks.
So if one of the support characters, who's one of the girls from Singularity Points, I saw online saying you had to kill him using Jet Jaguar.
Oh, thanks, Reese. That song's back in my head again.
Well, at least this time they played the main theme song when you use the unit's strongest attack. And it's all like guitar covers. So you get like the original Witch from Mercury, OP, with like a heavy guitar.
Oh, that one.
It's actually awesome.
That one.
Yeah.
What about... So can you change difficulty mid-game, or is it just you're stuck with it when you select it?
I've not tried it, but I think you are stuck with it.
Okay, just wanted to check.
Yeah.
Yay, that's good.
Okay. But playing on standard, the game is a good challenge until you get to the hard endgame bosses, where it does test you in your strategy.
I think if
because for a lot of the missions and boss fights, there isn't a turn limit to kill them in. But when you do get those turn limits, that's when it gets extremely difficult.
No, I'm going to turn down difficulty for my first playthrough, because I hate it when RPGs do this. Of you've got to beat the boss in a certain number of turns. Just annoys me.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I think it's kind of fun.
I feel like turn-based thing is all about strategy, so I don't like it when they add a ticking clock.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you have to do. You have to figure out the strategy to like defeat the boss in the fast way. It's part of the reason why I really like the fights against those little weird things in Clair Obscura.
Oh, I didn't like. Yeah, that was one of my least favorite parts of Clair Obscura.
Yeah, well, you don't like to think. Your main thought is hit thing with big rock.
But anyway, moving on.
So just before I move on, if you're a fan of Fire Emblem combat and visual novels, you'll get a lot more out of this game compared to other people who don't have that knowledge or love.
And would you say if you want to know if there's a franchise in this thing, you like look it up on Wikipedia and they'll let you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
But the minute you're selling it to me very well, considering that you've got Gundam Wing and Daizenion and Witch from Mercury.
Again, what Reese is saying, it's a really fun game with a good story and fun combat. Calvin's just like, what recognizable franchises are in there? What characters do I recognize that are in there?
Yeah, so in this game, there's 6 different Gundam entries as well. So if you're a fan of the Gundam franchise, you'll have a lot to see and use from.
So you got the original Gundam, Witch from Mercury.
No.
But
so they broke it down now. So it starts with Zeta Gundam with some of those casts, following on from Super Robot Wars 30. Then Char's Counterattack, G Gundam, then Gundam Wing, C Destiny, and then Witch from Mercury.
They couldn't have stuck in Iron-Blooded Orphans as well? Damn.
That was DLC for Super Robot Wars 30.
Brill. Anyway, Elliot, we're going to move on to one of your games next. So I think
I've already got Hellas up, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah, because Hellas has been a bit of a generating a bit of conversation online, and not exactly positively.
Not positively, really.
Yeah, no, I have heard some negative comments about Hellas.
Because it's got a pretty positive score.
What's its score at the minute?
77 for critics, 8.1 for fans.
Maybe I just I track. Maybe there was some issues on release day and they've now fixed that.
Well, I'm pretty mixed on the game. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, well, let's get the good stuff out of the way. What do you like about the game?
I really like the navigation and the world layout, because this is the kind of game I know will piss Calvin off. This is a game where you don't have a map and you don't have a way marker. What you have to do is you have to talk to NPCs and read documents to
socializing
environmental set pieces to figure out where to go. For example, there are a couple of things. For example, you need to try and find one point in the game. You need to try and find where this one where this one character is. So you sort of exploring this town, and then at one point you meet this priest who asks you to try and help his niece, to try and see if she's okay. And he says, look for the house with the tree house in it. You look for the house, you find a tree house, and then you talk to the niece, and you ask her where this person is, and she says, "Yeah, I think I saw a van with him. Go to these ruins. You can see them just from out the window. You look out the window, see some ruins, then you go to those ruins and you find a person. It's really cool. I really like that kind of navigation.
Okay, so navigation's all right.
Just having to look for environmental set pieces and talk to people and to sort of figure out and sort of have to look through all the stuff to figure out the right way to go.
What else is good about the game?
It looks great. Visually, it is a very visually, environmentally beautiful game. I think the combat is pretty fun. You get multiple different types of weapons. You can equip them with certain attributes, for a better word.
Okay.
And that's really good.
Anything else you really like about the game?
Trying to think. Writing is pretty good.
All right.
More the interactions with other characters.
But you said you were mixed on it, so obviously there's some things about the game that don't work.
Yeah, there are some things I don't really like about the game.
So, off the top of your head, what's the...
So our story's not great.
Story's
kind of lame. The main thing is basically you're a guy who's a high-functioning sociopath, or he doesn't really show up any sociopathic tendencies aside from, just the fact that, he has no emotions, which is not lack of emotions, it's lack of empathy, but okay. And
so you're playing as an autistic guy.
Kind of. And basically he's looking for his father, and then he finds his father, but his father's dead, and now he's having to go out and try and fix the world or fix the place he's in for reasons. And it's just like, it's not amazing. Let's just say that. It's not great. Also, people have been complaining about the performance in Boarderlands, whereas they should definitely bring the argument to this game because this game performs like ass at times.
Yeah, no, I heard a lot. That was the main complaint I heard about from people.
To the point where there have been, I'm certain that the game started running worse after an update.
What?
Because I noticed the game was running mostly fine when I first played it. Then they released a patch, and I'm not sure if it's just because I'm further into the game, but it started running badly.
Okay.
Like really badly at times. And also, I fucking hate the enemies in this game.
Oh, really?
Like they are not that fun. One thing that I think is a blessing is that when they die, they're dead for good, which is good because these enemies are are way too fucking difficult. And not like a fun, learn how these enemies work and the combat kind of thing. It's more in the case of, they hit you twice and you're fucking dead.
Oh god, I hate that.
Like I gave an example of in the group chat of an encounter I had. I'm gonna bring it up just for the chat. This is an example of the last encounter I had. There's a corridor with 5 enemies. All these enemies can spawn this weird green turret thing out of them, and you can't damage these guys until the turret's dead. They can still damage you, and they can kill you, and they can kill you in like a couple hits. And this turret thing has a lot of health, and you have to take that out before you can kill any of them. And after you kill it, it respawns after 5 fucking seconds.
Oh.
And you have to kill it all over again in order to be able to even damage these guys. There are a lot of encounters like this.
That's annoying.
This is the worst one I've experienced.
That is annoying, yeah. I think that...
There's so many fucking encounters where these things spawn these weird sort of solid entities. Like there's one that's turrets, one that's just hits you with fists. And they're cool designs, but the fact that I can't damage the guys that spawn them or even hinder them at all, it's fucking annoying.
So, what your opinion of this? What I'm getting is there are some good points to this game. Do you think the bad outweighs the good?
It's fun when you're not fighting enemies. When you're fighting enemies, that's when the game becomes bullshit.
But at that point, it's kind of well, that's going to be a major factor in the game. So, if you're not having fun with that, why would you want to do anything else?
Well, because again, I feel like I as I said, I liked the exploration. The puzzles are done very well. It's just. Again, the main issue with the game for me is the combat.
But I think that's such a huge aspect of the game that would, if I was in that position, I'd be like, I do not want to play any more of this because if I'm not enjoying the combat, what is the point of anything else? But obviously, your opinion at the minute of this, Elliot, seems to be that the combat doesn't completely ruin the whole thing.
I think, as I said, I like this world. I like exploring it, but the things that really need to be fixed are the frame rate needs to be fixed definitely, and as I said, the combat just is so against the player.
Okay.
And as someone says, combat is shallow. A lot of the complaints with this game is just the combat's not good.
So it's not just you saying that. It is. There is back.
Luckily, like combat isn't like an incentive focus on this game. Like you're not constantly fighting enemy after enemy after enemy. It's just the odd encounters here and there.
Okay.
There's a reason why. Let's just say there's a reason why I find myself dying at like every encounter, and it's not for good reasons.
So I'd like to.
Well, in that case, Ali, do you think that's something that could be fixed with patches or?
I feel like it could. I feel like if they make, the enemy design is fine. It's just they deal so much damage. So I feel like it could be fixed if they just don't deal as much damage, and you can like. Actually, there's one thing I should mention about it. Actually, Shield. One thing that I find kind of interesting is when you hit an enemy, you sort of get the opportunity to get back a little bit of health. But you have to sort of time it perfectly. But there's one thing in particular that I really hate the combat for, which at first I thought was cool, but the further in the game the more it pisses me off. When you lose health, your max stamina goes down as well.
That's annoying.
Oh, so it's like Dragon's Dogma 2. That's a big issue I had.
Yeah. So like if you have like maybe 20% health, you also have 20% maximum stamina, which I fucking hate. Yeah, because it basically means like I can only do one attack to get my health back. And mind you, there are like healing items, but they are fucking scarce. Like it's not easy to find them. And so the main way I could get health back is by hitting enemies, which I can only hit them once, or I can dodge.
Okay.
It's fucking awful.
That feels like an interesting note to move on to the next one then.
Yeah, I give it like maybe a 7. Actually, no, I don't know. I'm still not sure where I put it because, as I said, exploration, world, really good. Combat fucking sucks.
Sounds okay. The next one up is Bloober Team's newest franchise, Chronos.
Yep, Chronos, The New Dawn.
Which version have you been playing, Elliot?
PC, but let's be honest, most of the games I've been playing have just been PC.
Yeah, I would say, unless Elliot says otherwise, assume where he's playing a game, he's playing the PC version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the main reason is I think I've heard mixed things about the Switch 2 performance of this one.
I didn't even know it was on Switch 2.
Yeah, Switch and Switch 2. It was at a part in the Nintendo Direct recently.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, the performance on PC isn't amazing. Like, it's not unplayable, but it just sort of like the frame rate just sort of go up and down a bit.
What do you think of what do you think of Chronos?
I like it. I think it's quite good.
That's it. That's interesting because people often do say Bloober Team are very good at their gameplay, but they just don't quite nail story. Is that true in this one?
Stories, kinda. The stories are pretty much just like get the MacGuffin to the thing kind of story. I think.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's definitely the story is kind of not much more. It's a bit more abstract and it's not really the center focus. The main focus is kind of the world and combat and shit like that.
So, what do you think of of all of that stuff? Then, what's your thoughts on the combat?
Well, this game is basically just Bloober Team Dead Space, pretty much. You're basically going around killing these sort of weird necromorph zombie clone things. And they can be quite scary at times. Like, they do take a decent amount of bullets to kill. And while bullets aren't a rarity, like you can craft your own bullets, you'll often find yourself like not having that many. You have to be very precise with your aiming.
How would you say you'd compare this then with another Dead Space successor like Callisto Protocol?
Well, I say it's better than Callisto Protocol in my opinion.
Oh, well,
for my PlayStation part, but at the same time, I mean, I'm one of the only people who actually like Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was not a fan of Callisto Protocol when it came out.
Legit, I think it's overhated. I think the game's quite good. But anyway, yeah. So one thing I would say, this game is also something I praised the medium for. This game nails atmosphere.
Yeah, Bloober Team is very good at that.
Like they get sort of having to walk the streets of, I think, Russia. Because a lot of the names sound kind of Russian.
Actually, on that
note, but like wandering the streets and going through going through streets and sort of sort of dilapidated buildings, and it's the use of sound and like the lack of music really elevates it and makes it like quite unnerving at times, actually.
Yeah, and I like the look of from what clips I've seen of the game. I haven't played it yet, but from what I've seen of the clips, the world design does look very interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It is kind of it does kind of give away when monsters are going to appear, because on the walls you notice this kind of fleshy, weird substance along the wall, which is sort of the thing that the monsters come out of. So you do kind of know when the monsters are coming. That does not lessen the intensity though, because you still don't know when they're gonna show up, just so that they are going to eventually.
Okay, so combat.
Yeah, there's one thing that is actually kind of interesting about enemies is this game borrows a little bit from the Resident Evil remake, where with the bodies and the fact that you're incentivized to burn them, otherwise other monsters about will sort of absorb them and make themselves stronger.
That's I'm glad they've done that mechanic, because that was always a cool part of Resident Evil 1 remake.
Yeah, and the fire you use is again kind of scarce. There are like in the safe zones there is like something that gives you fire fuel or whatever it is, but it will only give you one at a time. You have to find or craft them at other times, and it can get kind of tense when there's a lot of them.
Okay. Combat. How do you enjoy the combat?
Standard third-person shooter, pretty much. It's definitely, as I said, it's very similar to a kind of Dead Space, Resident Evil 4-esque combat, where like you just sort of aim the gun and shoot. You do have melee, but there's only really good as last resort, because you're going to struggle a bit with that, and you have a stomp button, so you can stomp on shit.
So, from the sound of it, this is a very solid release.
Yeah, I think it is. As I said, my main issue with it really is the frame rate. Really, the performance is not. It could just be because I don't have that power. My PC just isn't powerful enough. But it's the frames aren't that smooth, really.
Has anyone else been complaining about the frame rate, or because that might help?
Looking at the reviews, not really though. All the reviews I'm seeing played on the PS5.
Right. Okay. So
that might be a bit better.
Yeah. So it might.
And I think it might just be I have the wrong settings, or my PC just might not be powerful enough or something like that.
So your personal opinion is this is a pretty good release overall.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm glad to hear
it's got 8.3 from user scores. I'd probably give it that.
I'm glad, because I've been kind of rooting for Bloober Team, because I always feel like they have really good ideas, if nothing else, with their releases. And also, they did a fantastic job with Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah.
So before
if you like horror and you like Dead Space kind of stuff, I say give this one a go. It's quite fun.
I'm gonna say so. Before we move on to the main news item, I've got one more game to do.
I have one more as well.
So we'll go into your one, Elliot. We'll get that one out of the way.
A Lost Soul Aside,
which I've not heard much good about.
It's fine. That's like the main thing I can really say about it. It's fine. So on one hand, first good, combat is very flashy and it's very fast paced, and you know what? It is pretty fun. And I like the enemy designs. I like the use of weapons, and environment looks pretty good at times, but yeah, there's not a lot of things are either okay. Everything else is either okay or not that great. The main argument against this game was the performance, which, yeah, when it first came out, like the first few days, I will say there were points where it was downright unplayable.
Wow.
With how badly it stuttered and how bad the frame rate went at times. I would like to note they have fixed that for the most part. It's not nearly as bad now. Like, the frame rate does definitely run a lot better.
Okay.
But also the story isn't great. Like, the story is kind of just a weird alien race. The dimensional race thing has invaded our dimension and has kidnapped your sister, and now you have to try and find where your sister is. But the government seems to be working with the void tracks, as these things are called. And it's kind of all of the story's not amazing. This is a game I don't really have the most to say about because it's kind of a simple one, really.
Yeah, I've heard it's just like quite simple, but they haven't even really pulled it off that well.
As I said, I like the combat. The combat's a lot of fun, and as simple as it can. A lot of people say the combat is kind of simple. It's very flashy, as I said.
I don't mind that. I quite like simple but flashy combat.
I like flashy combat. But flashy combat's cool.
Yeah, because sometimes that's what you want in a game, just a nice, simple, flashy one.
So
yeah,
is it a bit like is it that sense of that Devil May Cry thing of it's simple to learn, hard to master type deal?
No, it's simple to learn, simple to master. There aren't really that many combo strings you really have. You get like a light quick attack and a strong slow attack. You can like hold down the buttons for certain moves. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. This is a very short one. It's got like a 6.2 or a 62 on from critics. I'd probably give it more like a 7.1 maybe. It's still fun, but as I said, it's just kind of simple combat. Real, the combat's fun, but as I said, the story is not amazing. The performance has been improved. Voice cast is okay. That's all I can really say about it, I think.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like there's much to this game. I got one more here. I've got Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I've been playing the Switch 2 version.
Because of course you have.
It's definitely it was mainly because I wanted to compare it with playing the Shinobi games you can get on the Mega Drive as part of the classics you get with the subscription.
Which used to be some of the hardest games in gaming at the time.
Yeah, and I remember, and they have definitely not carried over to this new release because it's not that hard. But the other thing about those games is they haven't aged very well. Shinobi Art of Vengeance is really good, and it would have had a chance to really build up an audience if it hadn't come out at such a time when 2D, really good 2D platforming combat games were coming out. Because it actually
you also just had that Ninja Gaiden one that Elliot reviewed.
Yeah, it's come between the Ninja Gaiden game and Hollow Knight Silksong, and that's a terrible position to be in. Despite the fact I think it's really good. Combat is very fluid. It has a lot. You have a little bit of customization with how you handle your character. You actually have to repeat quite a few levels because you get abilities it's kind of like they have Metroidvania elements, but it's not a full-on Metroidvania because you have several stages, and you have to go back to those stages when you get new abilities to unlock extra areas and get new perks for your character. So it's made by the same people who did Streets of Rage 4, and you can really tell looking at it because it looks very much alike. They are adding, and they're adding, and it's obviously Sega's got a lot in this because they're adding future DLC for a fight against Dr. Eggman, which is a bit of an interesting choice. But then again, Shinobi is going into this whole, trying to do this old world meets new world idea. So half the time it goes a bit Samurai Jack with, at the times you're fighting robots and military. Yeah, it's a very basic story. It's just evil corporation wants to take over the world, and this one Shinobi clan is the one thing standing between them and doing that. So they start to destroy the clan, including the main character's pregnant wife.
As you do.
Yeah.
Sasuke.
I will say the thing about it is you don't need to have played the previous games to get what this one is about. It's very different to those previous Shinobi games. But I am glad that Sega is sort of licensing their old IP for stuff like this. It does give me hope for things like the upcoming games like Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi and Golden Axe. The thing is, though, even though I think in some ways I don't think it's going to catch people's attention as much as things like the Prince of Persia game that's just come out, or
the roguelike one.
Yeah, or the Ninja Gaiden one that's just come out, because that's a very similar game to it. It's also a case of if you don't like the idea of repeating levels to get 100%. You're not going to like this game because it is required. No level can be beaten as far as I can tell, with the exception of the challenge levels, no levels can be repeated, can be beaten 100% on your first playthrough.
That's annoying because in Ninja Gaiden, there were collectibles for you to get throughout the level, but you could still beat it on your first go.
Yeah, you can't.
If you're good enough.
You literally cannot do it. The first level, there's a bunch of areas where you cannot access stuff because you have to get an ability in a future level and then go back and do the level with that ability. The good news is you can exit a level anytime, so it's not as if, and you can choose whichever checkpoint you want to start from when you go back into a level. So you can say, I just want to go here and then do that bit, then I back out the level and I still keep the collectible, and it just tells me how much percentage completion the level's gone up. So I can say on that basis, it's not a drag to go back through levels. But as I say, I think there's more. I think it's just bad timing, because I think if this had come out at a time with less competition, it would have found its place.
How long is the game? Because didn't you say Ninja Gaiden was that long, Elliot?
Ninja Gaiden's not.
Ninja Gaiden. Well, I didn't beat it, but I don't think Ninja Gaiden was too long. No, I said I had played for 3 hours. I didn't say.
It's apparently. I mean, I'm trying to see what howlongtobeat.com is, because I tend to whenever I do something, I think
9 hours.
It's about 9. So it's about 9 hours for this one. Elliot's saying. I think I spent about 9 hours, and that's just if you're doing the main story. If you want to 100% it, you're looking at 17 hours apparently.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is like 6.
So you do get a little more gameplay than Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Yeah,
but I do think so it's not, and again, most of those levels you can beat them quite quickly, but if you really want to get the most out of this one, you can't just go from level to level to level. You will be underpowered if you do so. You really have to try and go back and redo those levels. So I think that is one of the negatives I will say. Repeating stuff before you move on to the next thing is kind of recommended if you want.
Yeah, whereas again, Ninja Gaiden, you don't really have to do that.
Yeah, so if I'm going to say a negative, that is one for it. I think it's time to move on. So I'll say good game, but if you don't like repeating levels, this is not going to be for you. Shall we move on then to the main news story that we had, which was the Nintendo Direct that happened about a week.
There are other Nintendo stories to talk about as well.
Yeah, we can bring. So I think we'll go through all the Nintendo stuff in one bit because there was a whole bunch of Nintendo stuff that happened.
Yeah.
So other than Direct, what else did Nintendo do while we were gone other than the Direct? Because
they released the patent.
Yeah, they released that patent that makes no bloody sense.
Because Nintendo are being twats.
And let's face it, it won't pass anyway.
Yeah, no, that one's going to get rejected.
I mean, here's the thing. Just yesterday, the Power devs made an argument saying that a Dark Souls 3 mod invalidates Nintendo's Nintendo's patent.
The other thing as well, though,
and do you want to know what Nintendo's reaction was? Oh, mods aren't real games; they don't count.
Well, technically they are. I think in a legal, we'd have to ask a lawyer on this one because I don't know legally if mods will or won't count because again, they're not official releases made by the company. There's no commerce.
Yeah, but there are also like just so many games that rely on the whole summoning things for help.
Yeah, no, it will not. This will not pass. This is not going to be a pattern that Nintendo's going to get. It's simple.
Yeah, because as I pointed out the other day, even the original Final Fantasy did that with the summon mechanic.
Yeah.
No, Final Fantasy in general does that with summon mechanics.
Yeah.
I think like Nintendo, a bunch of companies try this all the time. They never tend to go anywhere. But I mean, Nintendo did have their Direct. What it was, and it before we go into all the things that happened into it, how do we feel about this Direct?
It's fine.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. It was also their longest Direct that wasn't a console launch.
Yeah, it was an hour long. It was an hour long because they took up like 15 minutes with the Mario Bros. 40th anniversary.
Yeah, where they, and I'm currently going through it. It took 3 minutes before the first actual announcement.
The funny thing is,
the rest was just, we have more theme parks. And we're going to be at the Tokyo Marathon.
Because they're sponsoring it.
Yeah.
They also had the museum. They also talked a bit about the museum and stuff like that. They did then go into more announcements. I feel like we should split this into like 3 portions for discussing this. We'll talk about the Mario 40th anniversary stuff, the third-party stuff, and Nintendo first-party stuff.
I've just already got it up. We might as well go through it in order.
The problem is, though, that's going to take. The problem is, though, there was a whole bunch of stuff in this that I don't feel bears worth mentioning.
Yeah, just talk about the main stuff then. You don't have to be like, we don't have to like separate it all.
Yeah, but you're going to say, no, go back because you missed something constantly. Hey,
how many of these things? You're the one who's always more excited about more stuff in this than I am.
Oh yeah, fair point.
Wait, go back. We missed our fucking Plinky Plop and the Loser Club.
Okay, let's move on to let's talk about the 40th anniversary stuff, which I don't think excited me as much as the 35th anniversary, but There is.
Yeah, because it's kind of lame, really.
Apparently, there is potentially more stuff that's going to get announced. But they talked about the new movie, which is called the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
But most of what we got was just a teaser trailer, really.
Yeah, but
and it's a picture of Chris Pratt's face for like 5 minutes.
I will say though, the idea of drawing from Mario Galaxy is an interesting idea for a movie. And
yeah, but they're jumping the gun a bit, considering this is the second film and they're already going to space.
Well, yeah, space is what you do when you run out of ideas, not when you're like just getting the ball rolling.
Yeah, just like a Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
and then
but I feel like the thing about it for me though is, again, I'm interested now a bit more in that movie, but yeah, but the big thing, of course, is they follow that up with they're going to re-release Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2. That's out October 2nd.
Yeah.
Which we got 6 minutes, or nearly 7 minutes in, because we spent a good 3 minutes with the Illumination guy, with the head of Illumination, talking about Chris Pratt's back.
Yeah, no shit that they're all back. The whole point is when you sign a star to these films, you often say it's a multi-movie contract because they're anticipating sequels. So we saw that with so for example, even if there isn't any sequels, you still sign them to those contracts. For example, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, there was everyone on that was bar a couple of the big stars were signed to multi-movie contracts.
Yeah.
Even though obviously that film failed miserably. Galaxy 1 and 2 though coming back. What do you guys think of that?
Well, we already had Galaxy 1 back with the All-Stars collection.
Yeah, that's true.
Luckily, I think from what they said, they are selling them both separately digitally.
Yeah, you can buy them separately digitally.
So you don't have to rebuy Galaxy again.
The only reason you'd want to rebuy Galaxy is for the new pages in Rosalina's storybook, but that's not a huge incentive to pick them up.
Let's be honest, you're going to.
Yeah, so I've got the Watch News section up here that they released. The games will apparently be 4K docs, 1080 handhelds.
Yeah.
There is now one additional chapter for Rosalina's storybook in Galaxy 1. And now she's actually getting one for Galaxy 2 because they didn't have one for Galaxy 2. You now get the full soundtrack of each game on the main menu. That's like 150 songs. And the biggest thing is a new assist mode.
You got the soundtrack on the All-Star collection.
Yep. But now you get it again, Elliot, for both games.
Yay.
Now, it's cool that we're getting Galaxy 2, though. Like, Galaxy 2 is a good game. But
yeah,
I am going to replay Galaxy 1 just so I can have a bit of comparison, because I've often said I think Galaxy 1 is better than Galaxy 2. But I know a lot of people disagree.
I question that just on the existence of Spring Mario alone.
I never played Galaxy 2.
The thing about it for me is the reason I prefer Galaxy 1, one of the big reasons I prefer Galaxy 1 is I feel like Galaxy 2, they lost a bit of that space theme. It's very hard to tell sometimes this is a space-themed Mario.
Initially in out of space.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of levels where I was like, it's like a blue sky, grassy fields. I thought, this could have been any Mario.
Well, there's also that big rumor that Galaxy 2 starts off as DLC or getting into its own game, like Silksong.
Yeah, there was apparently rumors like that. But I will admit, from a gameplay standpoint, Galaxy 2 is generally kind of better in many ways. I'll be interested to revisit them to see will my opinion change on these new playthroughs. But they also announced 2 new amiibo, which are going to come out.
Yay!
But they're not even
capitalism.
The thing is, though, they're not even coming out at the same time as the game. They're coming out in April.
Really?
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. All the other amiibo that were announced in this are coming out to release with their individual games. One exception with one of the exceptions with the Metroid ones, but the Galaxy ones are not coming out till April. Apparently, a Mario and if you scan in the Smash Bros or the Mario versions of Mario or Rosalina, you get the same effect, though.
What's the fucking point in getting them then?
Because Nintendo is... Because Nintendo...
So I've got it here, Elliot. Yeah. So for the new Mario amiibo, you tap it to get 1 life mushroom. Tap Rosalina, you get 1 up mushroom. That's it.
The thing you get... The reason is basically what is Nintendo's repositioning their marketing with amiibo, which is they're not really that concerned with these things having in-game functionality. They're more they are selling these things the way that they probably should be sold now, which is collector's items. These are just collector's items now, really.
It makes them less fun, though.
I agree. Though I feel like there was one amiibo announcement that we'll get to in this one, which I think he's going to put...
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm going to buy 50 copies of every one, but still...
I like amiibo as collectible items, so I have.
That's the problem.
But the thing is as well, I feel like they got it right with selling these things as collectibles rather than worrying too much about the functionality. Because if you think about it, if they put massive functionality behind this thing, then that's going to that actually could make the games worse, because you've now locked this content behind something that requires owning this figurine. So you need to really balance it. You really need a balance of it. The game I think has got the best balance of it in recent memory have been the recent Zelda games, because you can find those items in the overworld, but you have a slight chance of skipping that if you scan the right amiibo.
Yeah.
Can I add So the other thing they talked about was there was a new Mario...
They spent like 5 minutes on Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's back. We got a new book.
Yep, they're selling Rosalina's storybook as... so that should have been I'm with Scott the Woz on this one. That should have been a Club Nintendo reward back in the day. The other one, I think... I'd like that. I'd like to see that, though, as bedtime reading for kids. I'll be very interested how well that sells. Although, again, it's...
Yeah, or you could just go, hey, kid, I couldn't get you Mario Galaxy, but look, I got you the book that was in it.
I do think...
That's just as good, right?
I think, though, let's be honest, this is just a collector's item. That's what it's going to be sold as.
Yeah, and you're going to buy every fucking copy of them.
No, I haven't bought that one yet.
Yet, he said.
Yeah, he said yet, implying he's going to.
I don't know if I'm going to pick that one up yet or not.
Yet.
It's not up for pre-order anyway, so I can't do it. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's why you haven't got it yet.
Okay, so let's check. The next thing was.
Oh, I haven't bought it yet. I mean, it's not fucking available, but still.
The next thing they showed up was Mario Tennis Fever. Comes out in February.
It feels very weird, Mario and Bowser being on a team together.
That is a weird... I will say, I'm apprehensive about this one, considering they didn't show off too much of it, and the Mario sports games in recent memory have not been very good.
Yeah.
Like, golf was really bad. Strikers was an abomination of a game.
You say that like the strike. I'll go against you. Like the Strikers game is better than the golf game.
But I agree with you. But I will say the Strikers game was way blander. Like there's no personality to Strikers whatsoever.
There wasn't any for golf.
I actually was all right on Mario Tennis Aces. I thought that was an all right game when they started adding more stuff to it. But but let's be honest, that's because it was following on from Ultra Smash, which is a terrible game.
I didn't play either of them.
What do you guys think of the new look of what do you think of the new Fever mechanic they've added to this thing, that you can you choose a special power for each for your character?
It just seems like a party move that would be in an older game.
It just feels like a power up without the power up.
See, and I also think the fact you can mix and match them is actually means that your character choice doesn't matter as much anymore, because I would have preferred it if they had a unique power to each character.
Yeah.
But decent character selection at launch. I mean, I'll pick this one up because I did like Mario Tennis Aces. See how this one is, but I'm wondering how much time I'm actually going to spend on this, especially considering the stuff that's coming shortly after its release.
Yeah.
The final thing they talked about in the Mario 40th bit was the new Yoshi game.
No, we forgot one other thing, Mario Wonder.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll go to Mario Wonder in a minute. Let's talk Yoshi for now. What do you guys think of the new look of the new Yoshi game?
It looks like a Yoshi game.
Yeah. This was quite cute and adorable.
Yeah, but that's the thing about the Yoshi games. They are a bit hit and miss, because like you get some big hits like Yoshi's Island and Woolly World, but then you get things that are just kind of there, like Yoshi's Story and Crafted World.
It's like Yoshi's Story.
It's not an amazing game. It's more like there are some bad. There's only really one bad Yoshi game, and that's Yoshi's New Island. And even then, that's not incredibly bad. I mean, I like the idea of the book aspect to it, and it has a thing about all these different creatures, but it'll be interesting. But I'll wait and see. I'm glad that Nintendo's not giving up though on Yoshi, because I was worried at one point they were going to sort of like push these platformers to one side.
Yeah, especially because it has been a while as well.
Yeah, Crafted World came out in like 2019, so it has been a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yoshi games do seem like kind of a one per console kind of thing.
I see. The weird thing is, I expected they'd be a remaster of Woolly World for Switch 1 was going to be in this thing, because I think they kind of leaked that by accident in a trailer they did. So I'm kind of surprised that didn't show up. Mario Wonder Switch 2 version. They're adding a bunch of multiplayer content to it, which looks cool. I like the idea of the multiplayer content.
Yeah.
But they are currently keeping a couple of cards close to their chest with it, which is good, because the problem I've had with a lot of these Switch 2 versions is if they're not giving that much content to them if you've beaten these things and you're carrying over your save file, there isn't that much to do. Like, there's not incredible amount to do in Kirby if you've beaten that game.
Yeah.
Like I had. So, are you guys excited for Mario Wonder Switch 2 version?
Not really.
So, because I've only played it once, I don't feel the need to go back on Switch 2.
They brought in Mario Prop Hunt.
I mean, there's some cool ideas in there, but as I say, yeah, you are right. There isn't that much exciting about this Switch 2 version. Though that being said, Mario Wonder is my favorite 2D Mario, so I'll be very interested to see what the multiplayer's like. I'm probably going to play some of that with my friends from America, but
friends.
That'll be, but I think that's the only scenario where I'm going to be doing a lot of that. So that was, yeah. You look at that, and you look at what they had for Mario's 35th, and it's not a great. It's not as good.
Yeah, because I was supposed to bring back like Mario 99 for a bit or something.
Yeah, I thought they would bring.
35.
I always thought they'd bring back Mario 35 and call it Mario 40 or something, and.
Yeah,
I was really hoping for that as well, because I really liked Mario 35. I know I'm the only one of the three of us that did, but
it does make sense as well, because we're also on the new console generation.
I'm a bit surprised with that one.
They also made a real life talking flower, which kind of became a meme for a bit, with a bunch of people sort of putting voice lines and going, "Oh."
See, that's the thing. That's the thing, though. That thing's going to go off at. There's a reason I'm not going to purchase that. That thing's going to go off at random. It's going to drive me insane, and I'm going to hit it with something.
You are. You're just going to take the batteries.
You are going to get.
You're going to get. You're just going to take the batteries out. I'm going to find a way. If you get one, I'm going to find a way to hack it, and so I can just use my own voice in it.
Oh, that would be hysterical. Just, I can see you.
Just I'm wait. You get Resident Evil 9. I wait for you to play it. You just there we go. Ah!
So, third parties. They played a big factor in this one.
Yeah, like a lot of them this time.
Yeah, so there was a lot of things like there's a few more Switch 2. There was a couple of other Switch 2 versions of stuff that we got in this. Like, there's a Switch 2 version of Stardew Valley that's on the way.
Also the Resident Evil games.
Yeah, that was a big thing for the third party wise. It was Resident Evil 9 is going to release day and date with the other consoles on Switch 2. And that one,
and it wasn't my biggest fear that it was going to be another fucking cloud version.
Yeah. The thing that one genuinely surprised me, because I thought I had heard going into this we were probably going to get Biohazard 7 and Village were going to come to the thing as non-cloud versions. But I did not expect them to add 9 day and date. And that is a huge deal. Because this is a very powerful game. So I'm probably going to pick up the Switch 2 version just to see how it runs. It won't be my main version of the game, but I'd be very interested to see how that version runs.
Yes, it will. It will be a main version because I have the mouse controls and you don't like keyboards.
Did they actually confirm in that one if it's got mouse controls?
It probably will, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense.
That'd be cool. I mean, the other ones, the other big third-party talk was Dragon Quest VII's getting a remake.
Yep.
Which, Elliot, you're the big Dragon Quest guy. What was your thoughts on Dragon Quest VII remake?
It looks cool.
I'm a bit mixed on the models, if I'm honest. Like, they did something where they scanned in some figurines to make them.
Well, remember, it is also based off a 3DS game, so you can't exactly expect it to look amazing.
Yeah.
But that one, it comes out in February. February. I'm very excited for it in some regards. I think it's a good... I mean, Dragon Quest VII is a very celebrated entry in the series.
Yeah.
You guys happy with? So you're definitely picking it up, Elliot. I know that one.
That's kind of obvious, yeah.
Is this one you might wait for a sale, Reese?
Yes, it's my experience with Dragon Quest series. It's normally 8. That was the PS2 one, right?
Yeah, that was the PS2 one with 8.
And then also the DS one. That was the one with the angels. Was that?
I think that was 6.
No,
I think that was 6.
It was like Sentinels of the Starry Skies. That was the one I played. I liked.
So you haven't played 11?
No, not yet.
11
you are missing out.
He's right. 11 is really good.
Yeah. But you've seen the games I've been reviewing. I literally do not have time.
So the other big third-party story really was Hades 2 got its release date for 25th of September.
Yep.
Fantastic animation once again for that.
Discussion with the Silent Hill, bold move.
Yeah, that is a bold move to go with Silent Hill too. How do you guys? And it is going to be a Switch 2 console. No, it's Switch 1 and Switch 2 console exclusive. So it's not going to PlayStation, Xbox at launch. That partnership with Nintendo worked for them last time. I think it makes sense to do it again.
Yeah, because I was supposed to pick it up on Switch 1. I really loved it.
I loved Hades. I loved Hades 1 as well. I rebought it on PlayStation just so to get the platinum.
Of course.
I am dead excited.
Because he's bad with money.
I'm dead excited to play Hades 2.
Especially because you're the only one who's played the early access of it.
Yeah, I played the early access. I didn't. I haven't. I only played it though before it got major patches and content updates. So there's a lot I haven't seen.
Mm.
But if, but I'm dead excited to see what the final version is going to look like. Elliot, how are you? How are you feeling about Hades 2?
Yes.
Dead excited?
Excited, I say.
Yeah, honestly, I think I would say if it's as good, the thing that they really nailed. The one thing I got from the early access was they've kept up the whole thing of no run is going to feel wasted.
Good.
Which was one of the best things. It does feel like every. We'll get to my opinion on roguelikes in a minute because we're going to talk about some Nintendo first party stuff. Any third party games that you guys remember from the Direct that you thought that was cool?
Yeah, Fatal Frame 2.
Fatal Frame 2, yeah, that was a cool one.
I think from the looks of it, they say this is a remake. I think this is a port of the Wii version of the game.
It's definitely been up.
More than anything else.
It's definitely been upscaled, if nothing else.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I love Fatal Frame. It's a big one for me, and one that I'm very surprised by, but I'm also really excited for. Danganronpa 2's getting a remake.
Yeah, that was
what the fuck?
It's cool that it's getting a remake. I'm very happy.
Yeah, but like two of all of them as well.
I would have thought they'd do the first one first.
Yeah. Also, from the looks of it, like the background art has been improved. There's actual animation. There's actual animation in the character models now, which looks really cool. I mean, you know me, I'm a big Danganronpa fan, so obviously I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Another. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, I guess that beach board game sold really well then.
Must have done.
I mean, the collection must have sold pretty well because obviously.
Because I thought from what the creator said, he said he would like to go back to Danganronpa, but it would be it would be a reboot to the series more than anything else. I'm surprised they're doing like a remake of the second one.
I think it's, from what I gather, I imagine it's going to be like this idea of we've got more technology, let's put it to use and see what we could have done with better tech.
Yeah.
Another one that's kind of fun. Dynasty Warriors Origins is coming out.
Yeah, Dynasty Warrior Origins coming to Switch. That's cool. The Switch 2, I should say. That's a cool one.
There's also, it's coming out in January, so a year after it originally came out. But it's also the same day that the DLC is coming out as well. So that's cool. And I did check DLC's coming to all things.
Okay.
The only reason I know is because it's been announced on Steam. That's getting DLC.
Another one third party wise, Monster Hunter Stories 3 got its release date for March.
Yep, looking forward to that. Since that's been a very strong franchise.
I really, really liked Monster Hunter Stories 2, so I'm very happy to see 3 is coming this soon. Yeah,
the big change now, of course, is the big art style upgrade. Going from chibi characters to now more fully 3D characters.
Yeah, but I always thought there's a bit of a charm to the chibi characters, which I'm interested to see how I'm going to feel with that change in art style.
And also the MVP of the Direct, the best thing to be announced, Power Wash Simulator 2, baby!
Woo!
I'm half joking about that. I'm actually legit looking forward to it.
Yeah,
same. Because I had a random video put up on my YouTube last week going over the lore for Power Wash Simulator. I did not know it had lore.
Apparently it does, yeah.
Yes, and it's crazy with time travel and aliens.
It's honestly, the first Power Wash Simulator is really fun. I'm looking forward to the second one.
Yeah, I finally downloaded it and gave it a go. I like Power Wash Simulator.
I fucking told you.
It is surprisingly addictive. I feel like we got most of the major third parties announcements out the way.
Oh well, we also had the big one for Cal. That wasn't in this, but was teased after. The Mega Man collections coming out as well.
Yeah, that wasn't in the direct. The Mega Man Star Force collection. Good.
Yeah.
We've also got a release date for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
That one doesn't appeal to me at all, really, if I'm honest.
Well, especially because we've already played it.
I've played Remake, I've played Rebirth, and the file size on the Switch 2 version is not reduced enough for me to put it on there. It's still 90 gigabytes on Switch 2, which I know what they do. It's cool that and apparently it runs very well.
Yeah.
There was 2 really big surprises for me that these did not get release dates from third-party wise in the direct. One of them was Professor Layton.
Yeah.
Because they were still saying up until this direct, this was a 2025 release. I think we can now say probably now 2026.
Unless they shadow drop it unless they just announce on Twitter.
They might do, but I could imagine they might want to put that in 2026 for lower competition. And Elden Ring Switch 2 version, that was a big shock. I thought that would get a release date.
Yeah.
Do you think that's been internally delayed to fix some of the performance issues?
Oh no, I don't think it ever really got a 2025 release window, did it?
It did in that direct, the April direct. It did say 2025 in the April direct. They might have just said we need a bit more time to polish this. Can we wait a few more months?
Yeah.
I'm not anticipating a massive delay. I'm just saying I think that might be a few months to go before we get to see that one. So let's talk third parties are kind of out of the way. Let's talk first party then.
Okay, so I'll show you away Tomodachi Life. Shut the fuck up, Tomodachi time.
Okay, let's talk Tomodachi Life because that trailer looked cool. They've said it's coming out in spring, so that's.
Oh god, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I fucking love Tomodachi Life on the 3DS so much, and my god, the stuff they've added into this game is so cool. Like you get an overworld, you get to explore the fucking island.
Yep. So characters can now move around properly.
Yeah, and you can you can now drag means to each other. Like, no, you will be friends.
I'm very interested to see how this Tomodachi Life works out because it looks okay. It actually looks quite good. It looks mad as fuck.
You expected it to look mad.
It does. It looks mad as fuck. But
it's Tomodachi Life is mad. It's always been from the start. You remember the dream sequences?
Oh yeah. All hail Virtual Boy. More
which,
on that in a minute.
Which is not a real thing.
Yeah, no, more on that in a minute.
Honestly, this game just looks so much fun. I'm so happy they brought back the text-to-speech voices. Yeah. Just because it's always so funny.
Let me guess, Tomodachi Life was the highlight of the direct for you.
Oh, definitely. This game looks amazing.
Let's go to something a little less impressive then. The Donkey Kong Bonanza got DLC that released after the direct. It's basically
it's now classed as DK Island and Emerald Rush as its title.
And I've been playing a bit of both, and yeah, it's all right, but it's not worth the price tag that there's today.
That's kind of lame, if I'm honest.
Well, it's also got the same price tag as Silksong.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's actually really fun when you get into it, doing the roguelike mode. But the thing about it is, everyone's kind of moving into roguelikes, but it feels like everyone's playing catch up with Hades because Hades innovated this. Didn't start here, but it innovated so well, and it feels like everyone since then has been trying to play catch up with this innovation, but they haven't quite reached it. But as I say, fun. But I feel like if it was £5 or £10 less, it would have been. I think it would have been worth more the money.
Well, all you get access to is one new layer on the surface and the Emerald minigame, and the Donkey Kong Island layer. It's smaller than all the other layers in the game, except the racing one.
Yeah, it is quite small. DK Island. It's chocked full of references, but.
Yeah, this is one of the good examples of people saying Nintendo are really overpricing their shit at the minute.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that at the end on Nintendo's pricing, because I have some thoughts on Nintendo's pricing.
Yeah, in other words, he's going to cope.
I'm not going to... Okay, we'll get to it now. I don't look, put it this way: I don't fully defend Nintendo with this one because I think some of their pricing has been pretty bad. I particularly note this DLC as a prime example. This does not feel like it's worth that price. The accessories make some sense because of the tariffs in the US right now. That's driving up production costs of all of the pricing on these things. But,
well, that doesn't really hold water, Cal, because we saw these increases before the tariffs came in.
Yeah, that's another
as well.
That's another point. I'm saying that the tariffs have not helped things, but at the end of the day, it is kind of a case of.
If you need an example as to how the tariffs might not be the only thing that affects it, Donkey Kong and Pauline Amiibo are $16.99 on the My Nintendo Store. Just the Kirby in the Air Riders is $33.99.
Yeah, I think that's down to. We'll get to what the functionality is with the Amiibo when we get to the Kirby Air Riders bit. But I think that.
Let's go back to the Mario one, for example. So the original Mario Amiibo when the Switch first launched in America was $13. Now for the new Galaxy Amiibo, it's $40. That's more than some games.
See that?
Yeah, you can't even say for functionality either.
So because all it gives you is a extra life mushroom.
So the price tag increase that would have happened with or without the tariffs because though they are larger amiibo, so there is more material going into.
Yeah, but
not that much larger, Cal.
This is
that much of an increase.
No, I disagree with it being that much of an increase. That's what the point I was getting to. I disagree with it being more of an increase. There was going to be an increase one way or another because of the amount of material used. However, that is no excuse for how high that price is. And is it $40 for one amiibo or both amiibo?
One.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, and for Kirby, it's $34 for one. That's £34 each.
Yeah.
Or if you go to America for the bigger ones, it's $50 for the Pop Star and Kirby.
I think the increase in price on the Kirby one is due to the functionality, which is annoying considering that the Kirby amiibo.
Not that by that much.
Yeah, it's not by an incredible amount, and it's also annoying because the Kirby amiibo actually has some of the best functionality that we've seen in amiibo for quite a while.
Yeah, what is it? It's essentially the same as the Smash Bros amiibo.
Yeah. But I do like the
fact which were $13 at release.
And they added the Monster Hunter Stories function of swapping the characters with the rides, which I think is a cool.
Well done. Well done. They've managed to do the same thing that Skylanders Swap Force did over a decade ago.
Yeah, okay, well, let's give you another examples. Talking about the new Metroid amiibo. The original Samus was $13. The new is $30. She's the same size, slightly different pose.
Yeah, and it's also
like the one on the bike is $25. The one on the bike is £25.
What's even more annoying is there is a gap for one of the amiibo. Two of the amiibo are coming out with the game, and one of them is a few weeks after one. I think it's the bike one is actually coming out after the game comes out, which is annoying because that's the one that I like the most out of all those amiibo.
Actually, no, the bike one's coming out before.
Oh, is it the bike
one's coming out on the 6th of November?
It's two of them are coming out at the same time, and one of them's coming out later, and I can't remember which one it is because they have got separate release dates. Weirdly.
So the big ones announced is Samus on bike and Silux.
So Samus on bike and Silux are coming out first, then the Samus one comes out later. It's not
actually no, yeah. Both of them are actually coming out before the game is.
Yeah.
Now amiibo are collector's items. That's the thing about them. The price increase of the DLC and stuff like that feels like more egregious to me because that's locking off content from the main market.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm growing a little concerned because I'm wondering how much are Nintendo charging are Nintendo ever going to increase the charge for those Switch 2 upgrades? Because they've been decently priced up until now for the most part. The Mario Party one was pretty bad, but Kirby one was fine. I imagine if they charged the same for Mario Wonder, they would possibly get away with it if it has more single player content. But
yeah, but let me give you a comparison. We got the release of Elden Ring: Shadows of the Earth Tree last year, and that was more expensive than Donkey Kong's DLC, but that was so massive it was pretty much a new game.
Yeah, that's
Donkey Kong's DLC, on the other hand, that's a new challenge mode.
Yeah,
for like £10 for like half the price.
I kind of wish it was like £10 or £15. I think at that point you would have justified that price tag.
No, what it should have been is a free update.
Yeah. But for so little content, it should have been a free update.
Yeah, the new challenge should have been a free update. They did not charge for it.
If they were going to charge for DLC, I feel like it should have been the idea Nate the Hate floated, which is a few more, like a load of those 2D stages that were throwbacks to Donkey Kong Country, because there wasn't that many of them in the final game.
No, I would argue they should have added in an entirely new level. Like an entirely new world, at least.
Well, they technically did with.
That's what they did with the Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and that was cheaper.
Yeah, and Kirby and the Forgotten Lands update is really good.
Yeah, because that's also several levels as well, not just one.
Yeah, exactly. I think the next let's move on then and discuss the other first party stuff that was in the direct. We did get a release date for Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, finally.
It's coming early December. I will say, I'm glad they haven't shown off too much of this game, because I feel like there's a lot going on to discover, and discovery is a good part of Metroid Prime.
You say that,
because it's the third trailer.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to get a full direct, close to the release date.
Especially to make such a push for Christmas time.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did a direct for Metroid Prime 4. I think they should avoid doing that to give a bit more of a surprise to people playing it. But Nintendo's going to Nintendo.
It's Nintendo. The only time that makes sense is when they don't.
Yeah, that's a good.
And also, what Nintendo announced after the direct is that Metroid Prime 1 to 3 is getting a retrospective visual book with concept art and behind the scenes illustrations as well to build hype for 4.
That really
just do a remaster of 2 and 3, damn it.
That's
all I want.
No, Elliot, you'll get your book and you'll like it.
Fuck you! I already have enough to read.
If they at least, if nothing else, put 2 on GameCube NSO.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, you could easily get 2 on GameCube NSO. What about I mean, I like that. That being said, Metroid Prime 4, I'm dead excited for.
Yeah. Even though all this trailer was just a Akira reference.
Yeah, I was about to say, and even Nintendo's doing it now.
Yep.
You got Murdoch and God doing a Akira reference. It's like the law or something at this point.
I do proper though. I am interested what how the bike's going to play into this, though.
Well, in every trailer we've gotten, Samus in a new environment, so maybe it'll be more open world style. You drive bike around.
It would explain why it's taken so long for this game to come out. But if you think about it, this started after they had to shut it down and restart it. This has been going for 6 years. That's about the sort of time I'd expect a Metroid Prime game.
Now, if you want the full timeline, it's over 10. It's nearly 10.
Yeah, it nearly is. Fucking hell. Kirby Air Riders, they showed off the amiibo, and it's got the Smash Bros. Functionality, and there's going to be another Air Riders Direct before the release. I was got some more information of the latest PAX conference with people doing the city trial mode. How did they find
that came online?
How did they find it?
Yeah, they really enjoyed it. There's a lot more people now as well. It's 24 people, I think they said. City Trial. Sorry,
that is so good idea, because City Trial was the thing that excited me the most about the this Kirby Air Riders release. But I don't understand why we're getting another direct for Kirby Air Riders, because I felt that first direct explained so much about the game.
Oh no, sorry. 16 players online or through local co-op can do city trial.
Sorry, local co-op. 16. Yeah. It's too many Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
I'd so love to see someone try to get a 16-player game on one Switch with loads of Joy-Cons in portable.
Yeah, so apparently for local wireless play, up to 8 human players can connect, with the other 8 being CPU.
But then you just connect it to another Switch and you have those people do 8 players and then you're sorted.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm dead excited for Kirby Air Riders. It is one of my most anticipated games for the rest of the year. Don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I really enjoyed it.
I didn't play the first Air Riders, so I don't really have much to go off of, for honest's sake.
For single system play, you can have 4 players connected to the one Switch.
Okay.
But 8 locally on Wi-Fi.
And
that makes more sense.
And I'm supposing 6.
I'm going to try a split screen with 8 players.
I'm supposing. Okay, so let's check the. Also, we already gave our opinion on the functionality of the amiibo that they've released for it.
Yeah, it's good, but very pricey.
Good, but the price
not worth the price.
And especially considering that these are apparently not going to be the only 2 amiibo they're going to release. They are going to release more amiibo for this. It feels like Sakurai's going down that line of he actually is going to release a proper line of amiibo, which we haven't really had for a while.
Mm.
And Calvin is going to buy them all.
Yep.
I already have pre-ordered all the amiibo that were in the trailer, were in Direct. I've got a complete collection. I've got a complete collection. I want to keep it that way.
Not bad with money.
Yep, just suppose a bankrupting Axia to fund it.
The next trailer, I'm trying to think what the next.
In other words, Calvin needs to remortgage his house. You know why?
Yeah.
We got a release date for Hyrule Warriors.
Finally.
Yeah. It's coming out early October. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed by this new one. I'm interested to see what direction they're going with it. Especially considering they're only
almost like Nintendo game for the year.
Yeah.
It looks good. The file size is huge. I have to get a physical version of this one because it's 44 gigabytes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure all the Warriors games usually have high gigabytes. There's always a ton of content in them.
I'm interested.
Yeah, but didn't people say it's bigger than Cyberpunk on Switch?
No, Cyberpunk is still massive.
Is it?
Yeah, Cyberpunk is like that's
64 gigabytes.
Let me double check.
It's probably just people exaggerating then.
Yeah, because I was going to say it is bigger than Metro Prime 4. That was 33. That's 30 gigabytes, just over 30 gigabytes. That's still huge for a Nintendo.
Yeah,
game.
Cyberpunk is 59.4. Fuck you for lying.
So there's so we're talking on this one. I think I like the idea of the partner mechanic they introduced in this trailer.
Yeah.
That's good. And it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to expand on that part of the story of Tears of the Kingdom. Considering this one is a canon story, they've confirmed this time.
They've shown the split screen and the frame rate tanks.
Oh yeah, the frame rate tanks in split screen from the looks of it.
It goes to like from 60 to like 30 frames per second.
No way am I playing this in split screen multiplayer. Fuck that.
Yeah, feel sorry for the people who have to game share it with a fucking original Switch as well. That's gonna.
Yeah, I saw that in the trailer. I was like, "What the hell were you thinking introducing that?" Okay, what? We also got an update for Nintendo NSO that was fucking hilarious.
I literally burst out laughing when I saw this.
Because the expansion pass, I thought they weren't going to introduce any new systems, but the expansion pass is getting Virtual Boy.
Yeah, which means you guys can play the first Super Robot Wars if it comes to the West Virtual Boy Simulator.
It also means you can play the original Mario Tennis.
And they're also releasing a Virtual Boy container to put your Switch in to get the stereoscopic 3D effect.
That's $100. Fuck that.
It's much cheaper in the UK. It is £50.
That's still too expensive.
Though. Yeah, especially because all it is a holder. It has no functionality itself.
Yeah, no.
And everyone who's used the Virtual Boy knows how fucking uncomfortable that thing is to use.
Dear God, I used it at a convention.
Oh, I hope it comes with the free with the ice train as well. Otherwise, it's not the full experience.
Dear God. All right, I actually played it at a convention once. I genuinely was nearly sick after 10 minutes.
Good.
It was unplayable. And let's be honest, there's only 2 games I actually want to play from Virtual Boy, and that's it. Wario Land and Jack Bros. That's it. I'm good. I mean, I'm gonna play. So that.
I sure you don't want to play Waterworld.
Is Waterworld in the selection?
I have no idea.
If that could come in the future, like Super Robot Wars does.
I have them all. I have them all up. We have 3D Tetris, Gold, Mario Clash.
Let's be honest, though. Again, it's just Wario World and Jack Bros. I want to play.
Not Mario Clash.
No, I've heard Mario Clash isn't that good. I'll try Mario Clash, but I imagine that's one I'm going to play it for 5 minutes, think it's just okay, and then move on.
There's no reason we can't release Waterworld. There's only 22 games ever came out for the Switch for the Virtual Boy.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah. I am staggered Nintendo decided to do this. The next okay, so there was a couple of Pokemon announcements. They showed off a new trailer for Legend ZA, which showed off the Mega Evolutions that had already leaked. Which there's the Mega Evolutions for the Kalos starters, but they are locked behind an NSO subscription because they're a lot behind the online multiplayer as seasonal rewards.
Yeah, which means if you don't play online PvP, you are locked out of them.
That's fucking bullshit.
Which is really... Yeah. One thing I'm hoping is they will fix that with Champions, because I think Champions allows you to buy items for the Pokemon using the in-game money.
Great, fantastic. Hey, you want to use these Pokemon in the game you bought? You have to play a completely different game.
There's well, no, you can't, because if you they won't let you. That's another thing we did find out. Legend ZA also, if you transfer Pokemon into Legend ZA from Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet, you cannot transfer them back.
Yep, they are trapped.
What's the fucking point then?
There are some Pokemon that I'm not going to use competitively, so I will put them forward to save me catching them in the game. Mainly the Kalos starters. They are not really useful in competitive.
Just catch them normal. Just catch them normally. Oh, I can't wait to play this game and not do the thing and not play it.
But I like. What do you think of the designs of the Mega Kalos starters?
Yeah, they look good. Greninja feels a bit lazy.
Yeah,
It's just upside down on the shuriken.
Yeah, Greninja's the weakest one of the bunch. I like Chesnaught the most out of them.
Same.
Greninja's basically just Rasen Shuriken, which is cool.
Yeah.
It got a Naruto move that's great.
That being said, I am excited for Legend ZA. It does look like a bunch of interesting ideas coming together.
Yeah, and we've also got the first look at the DLC coming as well.
Yeah, DLC for it coming out in February. So probably after Champions comes out, which will be interesting. But the big thing they noticed is there's 2 mega forms for Raichu in this. Raichu X and Raichu Y. We also know Hooper's going to play a part in it. So, I mean... And
also Arceus, because the Arceus' ring was in the background of the trailer.
So that's going to be... I'm really excited for that DLC. That looks like an interesting idea. Plus, it's going to work out quite well considering Legends Arceus' biggest problem was there wasn't great post-game content. This looks like it's trying to fix that issue.
Yeah, because the post-game in Legend Arceus was finish the Pokedex, then punch God in the face and capture him.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Also, this pretty much practically confirmed. I'm not going to go too far in this because this is not a competitive Pokemon podcast. But I would hope that
as much as he wants it to be.
Yeah.
I would like to believe this does mean that Mega Raichu is going to be competitively viable, because if you're locking something behind a paywall, you have to do something for competitive players then.
Yeah, it's also harkening back as well, because Mega Raichu Y just looks like Pikachu now.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. I much prefer Mega Raichu X out of the two designs. So
he has two tails. It's not like Pikachu.
No, that's X. Y's the one with the big ears.
Y's the one with the big ears.
So for all the people whinging about Pikachu not getting a Mega form, now it kind of has one.
I mean, are you guys going to pick up the DLC?
Yeah, it's what content is, because I'm sure it'll be someone asking for it from me anyway.
Depends on if I like the original game, let's be honest.
Yeah, because if which means me and Reese are going to have to communicate over which one of us is getting X and who's getting Y, so we can trade between each other.
Since it out, these stones will be locked.
Yeah.
Just to this game.
Yeah, so the only rule we've agreed is that I'm taking Chikorita, Elliot's taking Totodile, and Reese is taking Tepig.
Yeah.
There was one more Pokemon announcement. Pokepedia.
And it's fucking cursed.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sort of a Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, Minecraft type thing with Ditto forming this community of Pokemon. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Viva Pinata in some weird way.
Ow.
It's kind of got that thing of if you spruce up the area.
It's green. It's green.
You spruce up the area, new people arrive, that type thing.
It's just Animal Crossing.
Very much.
You put it this way, I was more intrigued by this announcement than I was excited.
Yeah, it's just quite funny. All the time, Nintendo's been crying about passive infringement. Now they rip off all these other games in one.
Well, to be fair, one of them is their own game.
I'll say that fucking Ditto girl hurts me physically.
God, imagine if they release
that is fucking nightmare fuel.
Oh God, imagine if they release Amiibo of that.
Let's be honest, you'd be fucking buying that instantly.
Yes, and then I will hide it in your room to scare you.
Great. If you think that's gonna scare me, you'll fucking hell. How bad do you think I am with horror?
Well, they didn't actually give a release date for
this. I mean, I'm the one playing Chronos. You're not. Where's me calling you a fucking coward?
Okay, so they have a release date for this for spring, I believe they said. That's a lot. The one thing I'll say about that is if that's spring, that's between April and June. So financially, is that a bit too much Pokemon at once? If you think about it, because we've just had
always too much Pokemon at once.
Because we've had Legends EA, we're then getting Champions in early 2026, because we know it's going to be the format of the World Championships next year. So so they have to get it out within the first 3 months of 2026. We're then getting the DLC for Legends ZA, then Pokepedia, and imagine if they add Gen 10 on top of that, which I imagine Gen 10 is either end of next year or 2027. That's a lot of Pokemon at once.
There's always a lot of Pokemon at once. The grind never stops. There's always too much of it.
Literally, always the way.
Do you think the casual market is starting to go off Pokemon just for how much is coming out?
No, because it caters to everyone, including the TCG and the Go players. Pokemon will never die.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to die, but I'm wondering, are they going to hit those sales that they hit on the Switch again? Are they going to hit those 20, 30 million copies sold?
Let's be honest. The casual audience is just waiting for the next main game.
Yeah. I'd be very interested to see how well Legend ZA actually sells. Well, to be fair though, that has 2 different consoles to go for because it's on both Switch 1 and Switch 2. Final trailer that was in this thing was Fire Emblem, a new Fire Emblem.
Fortune Weave.
Interesting title for a Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
But it's more Fire Emblem, so that's making me happy. Definitely looks like...
I mean, the last few Fire Emblem games have been mixed.
Yeah, I'm hoping this is more Three Houses.
The last one I actually consider good was Three Houses.
Yeah, Three Houses is fantastic. I'm hoping it's... And it looks like this is going more to the tone of Three Houses than, say, Engage.
I mean, for starters, it's doing an original story rather than what's essentially just fan fiction, the references.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only returning character we see is Tiki, the green dragon girl on the throne.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's Tiki or if that's the green-haired girl from Three Houses.
It's Sophless. It's the girl from Three Houses.
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
so.
She's the returning character. But which is a bit interesting considering what we found.
Well, the looks of it is going down a similar route of Three Houses with having multiple sort of main protagonists. And I'm guessing maybe you have to pick one of them and it'll go down a different story for each one.
Yeah.
Again, Three Houses is one of my favorite Fire Emblem games, so I'm happy they're taking more from that. I also kind of like the idea of the Colosseum aspect to it. I'm assuming it's not going to be the only reason we're going to be fighting in this game, but it is an interesting way to justify the combat. They didn't give a release window for this one. They just said 2026. So
it's because the players have to be pushed back anyway.
I feel like this is end of 2026 announcement, and this was just to build hype for it.
Yeah, same.
I also don't think this is Nintendo's only big game for the end of 2026. I don't think they bank everything on Fire Emblem. Like, yeah, I can imagine there's something like an Animal Crossing in there. What do you guys think about? I'd say, what do you guys think about the look?
Think about the words. Think about what you got to say.
What do you think about the look of this new Fire Emblem? Because this is going to be a Switch 2 only Fire Emblem game.
Well, looking at the brief bits of combat, it does look like they're adding in some like new elements to it. Like there's one enemy that can hit multiple characters at once. There's one that can kind of go through walls.
It does look.
I know. It seems like they're doing a lot of new, interesting stuff with Fire to sort of spruce Fire Emblem up. It looks cool.
Is it just me, or is it rather fascinating that this was a franchise that was on the brink of death, and now it's ending a Nintendo Direct?
Yeah, it was pretty much only Awakenings that brought it back on 3DS, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't the Awakening because it didn't sell very well on everything else, but then Awakening kind of really bumped it up.
Yeah,
it is fascinating that Awakening.
Because I mean, it was Japanese only until I think the GBA.
Yeah,
I genuinely think that I'm chuffed that Fire Emblem has got its time in the sun. I mean, I know, admittedly, this one ended the Direct because the September Direct is always very Japanese focused because it's coming around the Tokyo Game Show, and Fire Emblem obviously does much better in Japan than it does in America and Europe.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm dead excited for a new Fire Emblem. What do you guys think? What do you guys? So overall, I think we kind of thought that was a good Direct, but not a great Direct.
Yeah, same.
It's okay.
The issue I found was just so many re-releases of older games.
So the main thing that I found to get excited about was just release dates.
Yeah,
that was the only thing that I really needed. I just need a few extra release dates for things, particularly Metroid and Hyrule Warriors. But I mean, how are you guys feeling about 2026 for owning a Switch 2 now? Because we got all 2025 to come, and that's got a lot of hype behind that. 2026 so far.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough to really make an opinion.
Yeah.
But we're not going to see any more until probably January or February.
Yeah.
At this point, so I imagine there's a lot more to come for 2026. But if now we know everything that's coming out in 2025, how do we feel about the Switch 2's first 6 months of the launch? So at the minute,
it's been all right. Not the best console launch.
Yeah, not the Switch ones.
Yeah.
I'm reluctantly I'm going to agree with you. I think Switch 1 had a better launch. I think there was more titles and more high profile titles at that. But it's not been. I do disagree with people who are saying there's nothing for Nintendo Switch 2, and I'm like, yeah, there fucking is.
Yeah.
It has been. This has not been a disastrous console launch. This has been a pretty decent launch.
This is why I keep telling you to get off Twitter.
Yeah. Although it is quite funny though that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is having more players play it at the minute than World is, due to the changes.
That is
yeah.
I'm interested. I think that's something they've got to get on by the end of next year. They have to get more Mario Kart DLC.
Especially as that was the big flagship game for this year.
I feel like their big. I think their big game now, out of everything that's coming out, the one that they're going to put the most time and effort into is probably. It probably is Fire Emblem from the first party standard things, but if we're going second party, it will be whatever they're doing with Pokemon.
Yeah.
But Pokemon is kind of its own separate thing.
So it's just such a big money earner.
So, I feel it. So that was really it. I mean, not much else really happened while we were gone.
There were a couple rumors I found that I think I kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yakuza Kiwami 3 has apparently been leaked.
Oh.
I could believe.
Which would be. I love Yakuza fans have been wanting that for years. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I think.
Apparently, there's a rumor about Wolverine PS5. Wolverine's release window.
Well, that ties into a thing that came from Nate the Hate, where he said that he believed before the end of the month we're going to get a PlayStation, either a State of Play or a PlayStation presentation.
Yeah, I saw that rumor, and there's also a rumor that GTA 6 could be being delayed again.
I definitely believe GTA 6 is going to be delayed to the end of next year.
Yeah, that it could be. No, more that it could be pushing its release date to May or October next year.
Well, it's already got a May release date, so it would have to move to October.
From May to October.
Oh, yeah, so that sounds about right. I feel like that sounds like the rights that, knowing Rockstar, they would make that move.
But in that case, so I feel so bad for those other devs who've done other games and postponed their launch to go away from GTA 6.
Another one that the PS6 could launch with a detachable disk drive.
Yeah, that's a rumor I also saw as well.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, just as they keep pushing for more and more digital.
Yeah, and I definitely think these will. I think this will be the.
I mean, judging by where my life's going at the minute, I could be going exclusively digital soon enough.
Mm.
So, I mean, that's as much as I want to keep things physical, it is going down that path, and I would not be surprised if detachable disk drives, even they start getting phased out as we move on. I wouldn't be surprised also if the detachable disk drive is only for backwards compatibility, and the PS6, all the PS6 games would be just digital games.
Mm.
So
yeah. It just sucks for those people who get their accounts banned or deleted, since they'll lose access to all those games they do buy. Those digital only.
Yes, because while we were off the air, there was like a couple of hours where the network was so down that I couldn't access any of my PS5 games.
That did not happen to me.
Yeah, no, because I messaged you saying, "Is that happening?" And I think what happened is you guys got on the PS5 just as it came back.
Yeah, and I can confirm that as well because I checked with other people online reporting the same issue. It was mostly in America was hardest hit by it.
Yeah,
but it did hit somewhere else.
But it does show that's the problem with the digital future, that you can be locked out of games you've legitimately purchased because it can't read your licenses.
Yep. Since game companies now say buying isn't owning for these games.
It's the one thing I think that might positively come out of this thing is it might give a boom to the retro market and people doing like repairs. Like that would give boom to retro console repair businesses. And it might make people go back and discover some really good classics.
I mean, I just saw this, a former Bethesda publishing boss, Pete Hines, has said, has ruined some shade that gaming subscription services like Game Pass, saying that it, in the long run, it can harm developers and publishers. Because really, you're not buying games at that point.
It'll be interesting to see. We're hearing a lot of that from the AAA devs. We're not hearing that from the indies. The indies seemed quite happy to be taking these deals. So
because they don't need as big of a budget.
But it would be interesting to see, would these subscription services be better moved to being for these indie games? Because let's face it, when we watch one of those indie directs, you just think, oh, that looks cute. You don't think, but I'm not sure I'd actually want to buy that. If it was on a subscription service, you might go, well, it's not costing me anything, and these guys are already getting a payout for their next project.
Or when we watch these showcases, we don't watch and say, this game looks like it's worth £50 million of development.
But that's the point I'm making. Would these services be best served for indie games? I think that's a discussion for another time because we've been on this for over 2.5 hours. So
because you wouldn't shut the fuck up.
So let's. So we'll be back next month. Well, obviously we're back next week with Anime Amigos, but. Now. So we're next month. We've got. We're going to have Hades 2 obviously be a big discussion point on that one.
And I'll be able to talk about Deus Machina 2.
Deus Ex Machina 2 is out at that point. We'll obviously discuss Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, how we feel about those re-releases.
And also, depending what day we do it, we'll be able to talk about Digimon and Pokemon at once.
Oh, yeah, of course. Because, of course, both of those are coming out. And Hyrule Warriors obviously will be a factor.
No, it won't.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors is out in next month.
November.
Now, what else is out? There's another Nintendo release in October, isn't there?
There are two really big releases that you are forgetting.
Of course.
Two really big releases. Not even just ones that I'm playing.
Yeah, of course, because we got Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, Ghost of Yote.
No, that's not the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, Ghost of Yote, obviously.
I wasn't talking about fucking Sonic Cross Worlds. I was also talking about fucking Silent Hill F.
And Silent Hill F, yes, of course. So a lot are coming out next month. These are probably going to be quite jam-packed as we go forwards.
Please, for the love of God, game developers don't do anything next month.
I imagine,
I don't want another 2.5 hour long one.
Yeah, don't worry. I reckon we're going to get a shorter one going forward because I reckon the next big news will probably be in November. But anyway, well, thank you all for joining us. We'll speak to you soon. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.